911 location of your emergency.
Breaking news out of North Idaho. Moscow police are investigating a homicide on King Road.
Is she breathing?
No.
So 5'10", all black. Could you see what color his eyebrows were or anything like that?
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like either.
Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves, but no weapon has been located at this time.
Arrested. That's 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger in custody today.
Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Hey guys, happy Sunday. If I did not see you earlier in the UFO chat over on my second channel, happy Father's Day to those who celebrate and deserve to be celebrated today. I hope y'all's plans went awesome. I hope you guys had a great day. Thank you for joining M. Brown and Darian and Miller Time gifted 20 gifted memberships. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations to those who got those. One more week, not tomorrow Monday, but the following Monday will be our members only live. I'm going to do like 3 or 4 different giveaways. We normally only do like 1. I want to do like 3 or 4. I'm hoping. She's already starting. I'm hoping we'll be done with the damn book by then, and maybe the book will be one of the giveaways. Well, no, because I didn't say I was going to make that one a members only giveaway. Oh, God. I'll figure it out. We're going to do at least 3 or 4 members giveaways on our members only live on the 29th of June. I don't have it scheduled out yet, but it's usually, I try to do it a little bit earlier than we normally do because we do have a lot of members from overseas too. So I try to do it somewhere in between, usually somewhere between like 3:45, 5:15, somewhere around there. They're usually very open discussion. We can talk about Idaho. We can talk about new cases. You can say, hey, can we check on this thing, whatever. It's very much just us talking about and doing whatever we want to do because that's just what we do. So don't forget about that. So keep an eye out for the link for that. Let me clear this stuff out. Bro, isn't that shit cute? Actually, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. And I haven't told Sheila this yet because I was going to surprise her. But you know what? I'm just going to tell you anyway. So y'all know the plush that she like made a little plush of me, right? And like the monkeys are in the back. Y'all know that the LC Signs guy that like impersonates Trump and like other people. And he's just like real funny. That guy. I went to the company and I got a quote for the lights. And I said, I want my lights for like my neon lights to look identical to this because this was made of me by a viewer and I want it to look just like this. I love this. So they just sent me like 2 or 3 days ago the quotes for like different sizes so that I can put the monkeys back here on the wall in like a neon light. So I'll have to figure out exactly like the way I want to angle everything. It might end up having me like rearrange the room, which I wouldn't actually mind having my pink wall back behind me over on this side of the room. So we'll see how that goes. But I loved those little neon monkeys. And I want lights that look like those little neon monkeys. So we're definitely going to have that up really cute soon. I really liked the way they looked. They were really cute. Oh my gosh. I am so freaking tired. Oh my God. I could not sleep last night. We were up late because Slade and Ariel wanted to play this like 8-ball pool game that they can like become friends with on the phone, but they also like wanted to see each other, and we were on video chat while they were playing, and they played for hours. And then right when we started to like slow down so we could start going to bed, there was like an explosion sound outside and nobody knows where it came from. And it was weird because we all heard it, but like we didn't hear sirens. I didn't get an alert. The electricity didn't blink, but the internet was acting crazy because the storm was like really bad all of a sudden. And it was just loud. So the animals were nuts. I got like no sleep. I fell asleep at like 4, woke up at 5:30 because the cats were chasing each other everywhere, crashing stuff all over the place. So then I just stayed up. And then for some reason, Ariel was up. And so we just ended up on the phone again this morning. And then I went back to sleep for like 2 hours and took a nap. And then we did our Alien Live. I am tired. I'm hoping I can just go to sleep tonight. Like a normal freaking human being. That'd be beautiful. But we'll see. if the storms would go away and my cats would get their brains back together. My gosh, they're everywhere. They have been everywhere. And they're huge. So they sound like horses clopping down the hallway, and then they crash into stuff. And half the time they crash, and that's our fault, honestly, the human's fault, because we leave the bathroom door open to the bathroom at the end of the hall. That's the boys' bathroom that they share. And so when Zelda and Link, especially, the two freaking cannonballs, start chasing each other down the hall, and they have to like stop. They don't normally stop. They crash into the shower. So you hear the Minecraft shower curtain and all the shampoo bottles and stuff just crash all over the place. It's always an adventure in this house, you know. It's always an adventure with all the kitty cats. It's usually fun, but you know, tired here lately. Hopefully that changes. Oh my God. Okay. This interview with Ethan's best friend, Peter, is really interesting. Most of you guys have already listened to this one. Let me fix the way this is. Most of you guys have already listened to this one. A lot of people have. A lot of people haven't. We're going to do it again. Instead of me downloading and doing the thing I normally do, I'm going to do it from Connor's channel, because this time, like I was trying to accomplish the last time that didn't work out so well, it has captions this time. So I don't remember there being a whole bunch of pauses in this. The conversation is pretty fluid. But there is some more information in here, I believe, about Ethan's apartment. He has a lot of descriptions about Ethan's apartment. I'm going to take notes as we play it for the certain things that I want to come back to, because this is only like the second time we've heard two of the Sigma Chi guys mentioning Ethan's apartment. And the other one was Kyle Fry, right? I almost said Kelvin. Kyle Fry, I believe, was the other one. And what he had said is that he had helped that morning them clean out Ethan's apartment. Let me check Connor's page real quick. What date was Kyle Fry's interview? 12/1. He said in his interview he was there that morning. So by the morning of December the 1st, they had Ethan's apartment cleaned out, and Peter's interview, thought it was 4 days later. Okay. Because I mean, honestly, I'm wondering if that could be like where they can sort of like get off telling me that there's information about Ethan's apartment out here in the like public records when I asked for stuff about it, because I personally, and no one yet, guys, all the very, very detailed people that I have in contact with when it comes to FOIAs, spreadsheets, information, different people that I have come to trust to know that they are deep diving and getting really nitty gritty into the information. None of us have a report. None of us have a report. They haven't produced photographs. They haven't said they've gone and processed a scene, which regardless of if it's a crime scene or not, it's still the residence of one of the victims. And if they're going in there enough to describe it like Joe Lake does in this interview, there should be photographs, there should be video, there should be a report. I haven't found one. So I don't know why they're claiming that, except for, again, two people. It might be in one of the reports that's written, but I definitely, you know, just don't recall an actual report about going to Ethan's apartment, which is a problem for me. Especially when I then ask her, okay, well, if it's out in the public, did the person that told you that, like, because she doesn't know, you know, like she's going to someone else and asking for the information. If she can't find anything, she's going to be like, you know, okay, well, where is this? And that's when this person told her, oh, there's already public information out there. Well, then that person should have had to have told her where the public information is. Like with Matthew Gammett, if you guys were here for when he came back and said that there was public information already out there in the forensic reports for the 11/18 resubmission for that evidence receipt, and he gave me page numbers for like where he said it was. He was wrong. It was only for the 11/16 stuff. There was literally nothing on there for what I was asking for. But the way that he answered me back with page numbers and describing what the document was is how Amber should have responded back to me. And again, I asked her very specifically, okay, well, did they tell you where? And she said no. And that was like the end of the subject. Nothing else was said. And, you know, we move on to something else and the list just gets bigger for things we have to go circle back to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and listen to this. Now we have those dates down, and write that down real quick. 12/1 is when they cleaned it out. And by then, he calls it like a sterile environment. the detective. Which, I mean, we know that for the majority that Ethan was over at Xana's all the time, but to call it, I think he also, and don't quote me on this part, we'll hear it in here. I think he said there were several beds in there, even though we were being told by Ethan's parents he lived there by himself. In that interview where they talked about it for the first time ever, because we didn't know about that for years either, guys. Put that on the list of things that we did not know were a factual situation for years, which is wild to me, but okay. Yes, this is apparently the best friend, Pete. Which again, I say, like, I know that that Hunter Johnson, like in the very beginning, everyone said Hunter Johnson was the best friend. Hunter Johnson was the best friend. Y'all need to realize, well, I know you guys realize, but the people that still are like on that weird mainstream bullshit that was thrown out there, like they might have been friends. I mean, they might have been friends. Very few people in like the interviews, from what it seems, when it comes to like talking about best friends, really mention Hunter. And I think a lot of people put this whole like best friend thing on there, besides the fact that it was coming out of Hunter's mouth himself, because he was there. But he only ended up being there that morning because Dylan called Emily and he's dating Emily. Like, if he wasn't dating Emily, it'd have been whatever dude was probably dating Emily and they all would have shown up together instead of somebody popping up ahead of time. I don't know. But when it comes to the way that we've heard it with more like proof to back it, it's Peter. But there's just things said in this interview that make it really difficult for me to believe that if these certain things were really felt, that these two guys could really continue to be friends the way they're claiming they could be friends without it being a problem. If you know the history here already. So let's go ahead and get started so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. No, not yet. He spends Father's Day with my little sister, because when my parents split up, I stayed with my mom, and my sister raised my dad as a single parent. She was like 7 or 8, and so like he raised her. So he always spends Father's Day there, because then he spends the rest of the summer here. You know what I mean? So we just end up doing stuff for that later. It's just another date day. But they had plans and went and did stuff today. I saw her post about it on social media. They had a bunch of fun, but he should be here in a few days, which is better because this rain and all this stuff is like really just all over the place. So I'm glad that he waited anyway. It makes it easier with all of the flooding. Okay, I'm going to put a banner on this one. I'm going to go ahead and get it started.
December 5th, 2022, 1:32 p.m. Detective Joe Lake. Today I'm meeting with the best friend to Ethan Chapin, the victim. Again, sorry. So as we were beginning to say, did anything jump out at you while you're filling out the questionnaire you started to say?
Yeah, the fact that we hung out that night before that Friday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Friday at the victim's house. We just sat there and hung out. And
who were you there with?
We were there with Xana, Ethan.
I don't know why they have to redact who they're hanging around with. They're just normal people.
One of the girls that live there. Other girl that lived there. That's all I can remember.
You don't remember Madison and Kaylee?
I don't remember if they were there.
Okay. How old are you? Okay, so you aren't quite getting in the bars unless you got a fake ID.
Right.
Just so you know, if we talk about anything outside of the homicide that may be illegal, illicit, or anything else, I don't care.
I know.
I don't. All I care about is finding the person responsible for killing a friend and his roommate, and his friends.
Even if I were to get a MIC or whatever, I wouldn't give a shit as long as I'm just helping out with this shit.
We appreciate that very much. I'm giving you, call it this way, an immunity.
Yeah.
All right. If that's.
I mean, I know it's just for like the drugs or drinking or whatever, but it's just a interesting word to just be able to throw out there for everyone.
Makes any sense to you? So, you probably noticed by some of the questions kind of where I'm going with this question here, and you probably have an idea of some of the questions I'm going to ask you as we review it together.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have some open-ended kind of questions for you as well. Okay, I'm pretty transparent.
No,
If there's anything that you got questions about, by all means ask. But before I get into all of that, I want to share something with you, just because I think there's a misconception by some. Others, I think, recognize it for what it is. But the media has created a problem.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something to you. That's probably been the hardest thing for me is the media, listening to all the media and seeing all the shit on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok even. It's insane, and
We'll stop here for a second. I wanted to show you guys the report. I had forgotten that I wanted to show you guys this because, like I mentioned in the previous live, when Connor was premiering this one, he said he hadn't had the chance to listen to it yet. So when people were responding back to him in the live chat for the premiere chat about everything we'd been hearing, because there's a lot in here, he said, well, it's probably good when the report's a page, but it's an hour long. I didn't realize that it's not a page, it's paragraph. This interview is an hour long. Hour and 13 minutes long. And the freaking the report is a paragraph. A paragraph. Let me read this to you real quick, because this is where it does mention the fact that he did have a previous relationship of sorts with Xana. It is in the report itself. And it says on December 5th, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective Joe Lake met with Peter for information about his friendship with the victims of the quadruple murder at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latell County, Idaho, on November 13th, 2022. Peter agreed to complete the victim background questionnaire and to be interviewed. Peter was the best friend to murder victim Ethan Chapin and had a prior relationship with Xana Kernodle, who was in a relationship with Chapin. Peter also had a previous relationship with surviving victim/roommate. Who do you think this is? Bethany Funk, probably. I didn't remember reading that Peter dated Xana and also dated one of the girls. How did we not remember that? How did I not remember that? How did I not remember that? So both of the girls were at the party that night, and Bethany was over there. Dylan was over there, and Peter was there with his new chick. He dated Xana and he messed around with Dylan and or Bethany. I have a feeling it's Bethany. Because remember, we were listening to the little bitty snippets before, and I was like, does that sound like it maybe could be Bethany? Because sometimes you can hear like the first letter of the name that they're trying to say, and you can sort of get like an idea. I think it said Bethany. I don't know. But this is like, I don't know if this is blocking out like Bethany Funk or Mortensen. It could be, either way, but like right here would be like a new word. Like this would be Peter stated Kernodle had a lot of admirers. So whose name is this? You have to go in and like copy paste it in there to see which one it is, but I guess it could be Mortensen. Because Mortensen is long. Bethany is not a long name unless it's Bethany Funk. Would Bethany Funk fit in there? So it's either Bethany Funk's like full name or it's just says Mortensen. Because we know that Bethany was sleeping around with Kai Davis and she wasn't really apparently in any sort of relationship. But there's also rumors that she was actually talking to Jenna McClure's brother at the time. So I don't know if that's true, but we know from Kai Davis's interview that he was over there enough to where when the situation took place, his roommates were freaking out thinking he was the guy that had died in there. That's how often he'd been over there lately. And he was there Friday night. Like you can see him in the photos. You can see him in the background by the door when they're taking some of the photos. You can see his hair, his shirt. You can see him. So this is interesting. See, and that would be really crazy considering Quinn Kelly. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could, well, they do use last name. See how they do like, well, they do it, but they do it in parentheses. I mean, I don't know. It's either like, I mean, I don't know. What are the spaces? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, Beth, Ni, F, no, M, O, RTENSEN seems to fit better. I don't know if Bethany Funk would fit in there as two names. I don't know. It might. I have no idea. Trying to see if there was one that we could just tell for sure was hers and we could separate it. I don't know, but that's interesting ass information. That's for sure. Prior relationship with Xana and who was currently in a relationship with Chapin. Peter also had a previous relationship with surviving victim / roommate, one of the two. Peter stated Kernodle had a lot of admirers, but she and Chapin were perfect for each other. The night before the murders, Chapin told Peter it can be difficult to be in a relationship with Kernodle because she draws so much attention. Peter stated if Chapin was confronted by anyone, he'd remain calm, and he'd prefer not to have confrontation. Peter doesn't know why, how, or who murdered Chapin Kernodle, Kaylee Goncalves, or Maddie Mogen. Which the night before the murders would have been like the party, when they were hanging out at the party. Because that's pretty much the story that I'm remembering he tells in this is they walk away to go get a beer. Which is interesting. So let's continue.
So much of it, 99% of it is miscued and wrong.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say something, but I'm like, what's it gonna do?
That was going to be my
Amber
advice
probably
for
would
you
know, yeah.
is
I'll message her later.
Don't chime in because there are so many trolls out there and other people that they will target you. They'll go after you. But the media,
if you guys are not subscribed over at Bronx Tales, make sure that y'all go over there. We did a live last minute the other day, and she has a lot of really good detailed information about autopsy information, wounds. It's just like she says, it's not perfect and it's not the photos, but it's really close. And getting a visual is so important, especially when it comes to some of the stuff that we've been told here lately.
One of the reasons they create problems, now keep in mind, they've been briefed and they're regularly briefed.
Yeah.
But they turn around and they provide misinformation, or they only take snippets of that information and then they run with their assumption of things.
I mean, it makes sense from what we had heard before. So she was there at the party while Peter's chick was also at the party, apparently, too. Okay. Thank you for 20 more gifted memberships, Miller Time. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Congratulations to those who get those. We're going to have 40 new members tonight. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you for that information. It makes sense that it's Bethany. It makes sense that it's Bethany.
The information is, again, to create a problem. And when they can create a problem, they have to be the provider of that solution, right? So therefore, you must stay tuned in because they're going to provide that solution eventually. And, if it just wasn't for all these pesky, procedural things and legal things, they should just tell us everything. And reality is when we do find a suspect, and we will, and we take them to trial, the information needs to be organic, needs to be consolidated to every person's personal knowledge. And as I like to tell people, my job as a detective is to extract information from you, not to feed you information. I know that may sound maybe harsh in a way.
No,
But yeah, imagine if I was defense attorney and I had you on the stand and I went, where did you learn this? And you say, well, Detective Joe Lake, when I sat down with him, he told me all about these things. You would immediately be excused, right? Your testimony is no good because it's not your knowledge. It's knowledge that you have been fed or gleaned, which taints your testimony.
Yeah.
And that's literally practically everyone regarding some of the so-say stalking incidents that were repeated over and over again. And I haven't done this video and laid it all completely out yet, but we have discussed it before, that when it comes to them discussing the time that Kaylee went outside to walk Murphy and there was somebody out by the dumpsters or something and she calls Bethany. No one else knew that story. Bethany was after the whole thing happened and they were all getting together and trying to figure things out. They literally all say, after talking to Bethany, after we all talked, it's all coming from Bethany, but then it gets repeated over and over again. So it's not firsthand knowledge. So the only person technically that could have ever gotten on the stand, according to everybody that we've heard so far talk about it, it's always after we talked about it, now people are talking about this after we didn't know until after. No one is saying about it being direct information except for Bethany. So she would have been the only one out of all the people that we've heard talk about that situation to actually be able to be questioned about it on the stand, because she's the only one that has the firsthand experience with it. Literally everyone else knows about it because she was talking about it after the crimes took place. And look how much it magnified. So much so that the real situation that happened in September that multiple people actually do remember about, that don't have anything to do with Bethany, just gets pushed aside. Crazy.
Okay.
Right. So
makes sense.
that's the whole reason why information is not released in criminal investigations, is because they do go to trial, right? You have to preserve the integrity of the investigation.
Yeah, even if you know the guy's the one that did it, he still has to go to trial.
Right. He has due process. I mean, that's,
is Connor in here?
the great thing about our Constitution, and maybe our kind of downfall too, is, they have that right. So, questions for me?
Where's he at?
No.
All right, let's jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. You probably can't
There
tell
he
me
is.
anything with.
Like, damn, I don't see him anywhere. Bethany was I have a video of her with some random dude at some formal, and it's not Kai, Peter, or anyone else we know of. I believe that. Some of the stuff that we talk about in email, I'm just shocked. The information that Connor has been able to pull up and figure out and question and put together to FOIA new stuff. Really freaking just a brain, crazy stuff. So glad that Connor's over here going through information and cares about getting information out there, because damn, holy shit.
What's going on, huh?
I can tell you a little bit, maybe.
What can you tell me?
Well,
what do you guys know anything? Because it kind of keeps me up at night.
I bet it does.
I'm having a hard time sleeping. I moved out of
having a hard time
the rest of the semester and got an apartment.
I can give you kind of high levels. I can tell you, like I mentioned before, I've never seen such a team assembled. When I arrived in here,
be nauseous. I've never seen such a team assembled. Your forensic techs don't know the difference between splatter and spatter, sir. I wouldn't be patting yourselves on the back too quickly. Thank you for the 5, Bree Bland. I appreciate that. Hey, Jules, want to say I've been a member for about 2 months now. Love what you do. Glad I found you, Will. I'm glad you found us too. The more people that are in here and pay attention to what's really going on, the facts, the documents, watch the body cams, listen firsthand themselves without being retold who knows what from a mainstream talking head, the better. Because that's what we need. That's what we need.
I actually got back into Idaho on Wednesday night and started in on the investigation, but Thursday I was boots on the ground here, and I had never seen a team assembled like that, and we had resources pouring in from around the state and around the nation.
Just the numbers of people, or
the numbers of people, their CVs, their background, they're truly subject matter experts, and whether it be data mining or warrant process for cellular towers. I mean, literally subject matter experts came in. We brought them in from around the nation. Moscow PD is about 30.
Does his voice not remind you of someone? I don't want to say it just yet. It's somebody we don't really like too much. I know that as a fact, because we've gone over several of this content creators interviews that they've done with certain people, and it's just a general consensus here on this channel that not a lot of us really like this person. This guy's voice sounds just like him. I don't want to say anything just yet. I want to see what y'all think. But that's the face I'm seeing in my mind's eye as I'm listening to this, and I just want to see if y'all do too.
Thursday I was boots on the ground here, and I had never seen a team assembled like that, and we had resources pouring in from around the state and around the nation.
Just the numbers of people, or
the numbers of people, their CVs, their background, they're truly subject matter experts, and
listen to
whether it be
it's the S's. It's the whatever the impediment is that has him do the S's and the way that certain letters are said. and the tone, that is definitely this man. I mean, I know it's not. I know this is Detective Lake, but just telling you, once I say it, you'll probably be like, holy shit, yeah. Let's give it a few more minutes. Yeah, YouTuber.
Data mining. Or...
He sounds like freaking that dude from the interview room. Yes, McDumma. He sounds like him. He sounds so much like him.
Warren.
I'm having a hard time sleeping.
He does.
I moved out of the rest of the semester and got an apartment.
Yeah, he is an ex-cop. You're right.
I can give you kind of high levels. I can tell you, like I mentioned before, I've never seen such a team assembled. When I arrived in here,
it sounds like him delusional as shit about happening here.
And
yeah, the glove guy
started on the investigation, but Thursday I was boots on the ground here, and I had never seen a team.
But remember, that wasn't the glove. That was not the glove that got sent in. There's walkarounds and all kind of stuff of Payne being the one that found that glove, and it's like days and days different. So he said he found a glove. He didn't find the glove, regardless of what he wants people to believe.
Assembled like that, and we had resources pouring in from around the state, around the nation.
Just the numbers of people?
Dude, does he?
Numbers of people.
I honestly don't even know what he sounds like.
Their background, they're truly subject matter experts in whether it be data mining or warrant process for cellular towers. I mean, literally subject matter experts came in. We brought them in from around the nation. Moscow PD is about 35 officers. We in the state police, we're about 300. And we're made up of several branches. Primarily patrol is what we're known for, but we have about 50 detectives, 60 actually, throughout the state, and I'm one of those. And then, of course, we brought in the FBI to augment us. So the case is being run by Moscow PD with state police running it, and then the FBI in support. And at any given time, there's about 100 people working on this, and we're working 24/7. So much so.
It didn't do anything. See, and that's another thing. Okay, so you're telling me there's like 100 people working on this as of 12/5. Nothing any of them did led to where we landed. So I know that this is happening like in real time as the interview's happening, and he doesn't know at the time he's saying this that what's going to end up happening here is not going to make sense to the majority of humanity. So I wonder what he thinks now, going back and knowing that he said, oh, top choice team. We work so well together. So many people, so many hard workers, blah, 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 all the attaboys that he's saying. Does he really feel the same way after? I wonder if I emailed him and was like, hey, I was listening to, this interview and you mentioned this, and I'm just really curious as if you still feel the same way with all the evidence and stuff coming out. It's like an unbiasedly stated question. You know what I mean? Because I'm just curious. They all can't still feel that way for real. Like, we know that WSU ended up taking a lot of credit for like the 1129 situation that didn't do shit according to their own words. Like, we know for a fact they did not turn that tip in. We know for a fact that the 2 times Kohberger's car was seen, once in the system and once in the parking lot, they said themselves they never turned that in. So when we got the Pullman information and we saw the chief sending out a attaboy and a kudos and a, I'm sure you noticed that Officer Tiango and whatever the dude's other name is, was mentioned in the probable cause, blah, blah, blah. So? Nothing got sent in. You didn't do shit. What are we doing? What are you doing? That kind of shit's just so gross to me. I don't like it. But it seems to just be how they're all, it's the same level of nothing ever happens in Moscow type of Delulu. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean.
We're just down with this, whatever, it's going on, cold or whatever, but we're still chugging away, taking our laptops, uplinking in, whatever we need to do. But we also were rotating people to get fresh people in, and of course there's a brief process, then we kick them out. But we've collected more data, more footage, more statements than I've ever seen collected on any investigation in 20 years. It's impressive. I mean, truly impressive.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I mean, I've been to schools all around the nation, know officers from, some of the largest agencies, NYPD, all the way down to some of the smallest agencies, people of 4 or 5 people. And I've never even heard of anything like this. So, Moscow PD really did the right thing.
I'll check him out after the live. And I don't know. I'm going to email you about what you sent me the other day because you said I could mention it, but I don't know if there's something specific you want me to mention in that subject first. So I'm going to email you here in a minute.
They started calling in for assistance and compiling this team. And when we got here, we have connections with all kinds of other organizations and started bringing them in. And it's really, it's quite impressive. What I can tell you is we have literally talked to thousands of people.
Okay.
And both what I'd call like a triage. In other words, let's just say there's a room full of 100 people and a fight breaks out. Mm-hmm. And you arrive. First thing you want to know, what happened? So you start asking people, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? And pretty soon you find that person that says,
sitting right next to them.
Right. And that's when you bring them in and you sit them down and you interview them. Right. So it maybe end up with 10 that actually saw what happened. Yeah. Unfortunately, you get 10 different accounts of what happened. And that's in perspective.
Is she ever going to shut up?
This person was privy to
the argument wasn't
questions? Started by subject X. It was started by subject Y was the primary aggressor. And but the other person sees it the other way around or something. So
this is crazy.
It has been really impressive that way. The thing is while we have some great leads and we have a lot of people of interest that we've narrowed down, unfortunately, that we have not got to the point where we can affect arrests.
Right, but you guys have no doubt that you're going to get this motherfucker.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is, I mean.
Are we expecting him to say, no, we're never going to get the guy. We're never going to arrest anyone. We have no idea what we're doing. Are we expecting any other answer but an affirmative one to someone who's sitting there and being interviewed? Come on now. They're going to lie too because they don't know what the hell could happen. It's been weeks. You've got literally nothing. You're going back and talking to people and really not accumulating anything worth a shit because nothing that you did anything. Yeah. No, nothing you did shit.
It's a good thing. It really is. I mean, I'm a person, I believe in the Constitution. I served after the college. I served 8 years in the Marines. I mean, I love our nation. I love our Constitution. Yeah, thank you.
Right, exaggerated.
I love the fact that we have our balance in our government, and I love the fact that the government kind of has rules, right? Unlike other nations.
You love the fact the government has rules? You mean like the ones that the Department of Justice broke? It's constitutionally unimportant according to the sitting judge on the case? That just triggered the shit out of me. What? What? I just love that the government has rules. What rules? What rules? Rules for thee, not for me. Those rules. What do you mean? What? No. Out of your freaking mind. Nope.
But sometimes those rules are very tough, especially when you're the person working within those rules. You can't just go out and violate people's rights. And I fully agree with that. And I acknowledge that. And it takes time to get warrants. It takes time to follow up on these. It takes time to process physical evidence. So that and a lot of that's just kind of high level. Unfortunately, I can't go into nuts and bolts with you because again, I can't change your knowledge base. But does that help at all?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Feel a little better.
Like I said, we've spoken with thousands of people.
Yeah.
We're getting there, but that way, it's not an easy case.
He's not investigating anything. Does this guy not realize that? He's not investigating this case. He's being sent out as an errand boy to ask questions. He's not the people really sitting down and trying to figure shit out. He's just bringing in information and answering a couple of questions. We're getting there. We're getting there. But you weren't though, bro. Like you didn't. You really just didn't.
By no means.
No, yeah, I bet it's not.
First question on family and background. Identify Ethan's family
Finally, here we
members.
go. Shit.
Knew his parents, and girlfriends.
Thanks for the 5 JJPP. I believe this detective is trying to bore him into a confession. I mean, what else could it possibly be? Holy shit. My God.
Unfortunately, I can't go into nuts and bolts with you because, again, I can't change your knowledge base. But does that help at all?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Feel a little better.
Like I said, we've spoken to thousands of people.
Yeah.
We're getting there, but that way.
Sure,
It's
yeah,
not an
sure.
easy case by no means.
No, yeah, I bet it's not.
First question on family and background. Identify Ethan's family members. Knew his parents,
Energy
and girlfriend
vampires.
Xana.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to sit down with them the other night. Great people.
Yeah. I actually, that same day I helped him move out Ethan's stuff out of his apartment.
See?
Okay.
His apartment was over here. You know that dentist office is right here?
Mhm.
Close right here. I think he's across the street from that.
Okay, so now he gave us another location marker. He mentioned a dentist office.
Help move out of that, and then
Yeah, we went into his apartment.
yeah, they probably didn't find anything.
No, and to me, I mean,
You probably didn't find anything. Did you have a key, Peter? Did Peter have a key to Ethan's apartment? Probably a valid question that should have been asked here. They were besties, right?
you tell me. It looked like he never slept there.
He didn't. He didn't ever sleep there.
I mean, it looks
He
like
slept there like 4 times the whole semester.
yeah, he had 2 beds in there, right? And both of them looked like they were somewhat made. I mean, they were made.
Yeah.
But I would almost call it a sterile
I'm guessing
environment.
so.
Oh yeah. He never was there ever.
So if he wasn't there,
Crazy.
where was he?
He was always at Xana's apartment. Stayed there every night, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there at Xana's apartment, would he stay over at the frat?
He would never not stay at Xana's. As far as
He
I
would
know.
never not
Yeah, he would never
stay at
pass out
Xana's.
at the fraternity ever. I don't think.
Okay.
Not that I know of. He never went in my room. He would always get walked home, or which was Xana's. But
I got you.
Thanks for the 10 Miller time. I believe all the Moscow PD interviews are just filler. The FBI gave them something to do while the FBI investigated the case. I mean, yeah, I think so too. Because nothing ever did anything here. Nothing. And again, like we've mentioned 35 million times, the feds literally touched every aspect of this case, from phone extractions to DNA to everything else in between. Everything. There's no telling actually what we don't know about what they might have actually done at the crime scene itself that we haven't seen reports for. But the simple fact that Moscow PD themselves never spoke to Kohberger's parents should tell you everything you need to know about this case and who was really in charge of it. What do you mean you don't talk to the parents of the person that you just filed an arrest warrant for quadruple homicide, and he was in their own house in Pennsylvania, and you don't bother speaking to them? You only talked to him the one time, and that one time in Pennsylvania after his arrest, you talked to him. The FBI is refusing to let anyone even hear his voice on the damn recorder, and the transcription and the pocket recorder that we're told belongs to Christy's little text buddy over there magically just doesn't exist. They don't know where it's at. Non-existent. MPD and ISB both told me that. MPD told me they've known about that for a long time. So me asking and finding out was not an epiphany, a boom, or any other bullshit. They've known. Still haven't bothered to find it. Don't they know what he freaking did after that night? What hotel did he go to? Where did he put the pocket recorder when he got to the hotel and he put on his clothes that he was sleeping in? What happened when he got back and he had to turn in evidence and put in his little receipts for everything that he did? Where's the freaking recorder? Everything was fed here. Feds were on scene the day this shit happened. Literally, Chief Fry said he was on the phone having a conversation with someone about maybe bringing in the feds, and the federal FBI agent popped up right there in his freaking doorway because he heard the conversation. He was basically like, we were just waiting to see when you were going to ask. And you know why it was so easy for them? Because they were already in Moscow. They were already sharing parts of the Moscow Police Department. They were literally cubicle buddies, the MPD people with the FBI. Puppets, to the point of even having to be told and handheld on how to fill out search warrants. The FBI guys in the freaking police department sharing space with them, they would go back and forth and get advice from them on how to fill out search warrants. There's a reason why in one of the hearings, Ann Taylor asks Payne how many search warrants he's filled out, blah, 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 blah. If you go back and you look at that training receipt that the lady sent me, it shows that sometime right before his position ended at MPD and he started being that imaginary position that was created out of nowhere. You know, because Latell County doesn't have their own investigators. They rely on MPD, but then here comes Payne being suddenly a prosecutor's investigator. You know how all that shit went down? You can see how he goes to like some sort of certification training for federal search warrants. Like he goes and takes a class on how to do it. You know, because they're trying to dot all of their I's and cross their T's after the fact. It's like it's gonna matter. I hate this case so much. Oh my God.
What year are you? Okay. So at the frat, do you have your own room?
Mm-hmm.
I live with one other guy, but yeah.
So you have a two-room.
Man,
yeah, versus the 4 or 6 or.
There's 2 mans and 6 mans.
Okay.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys know that Ethan's not a freshman, right? I keep saying that Ethan's a freshman.
Yes, we know all this.
Okay.
We've tried to correct them. They were unwilling to make changes. That's fine, because they don't want to act like they don't know.
Yeah, like the university is the one that's.
So we know that he had done really bad with his grades. But wasn't the whole point of everything that happened with him, like, didn't he like fail something? Because like I don't really pay much attention to like their academic stuff. Like I know that Greek life is involved, but I know that he wasn't living in the frat because of his grades, and I know that he had gotten his grades back up and he was going to be moving back in, and that it was for that semester and it was for the semester before that because the punishment always comes after the fact when everything starts coming in, and that's why his parents got the apartment. Right, like he was a freshman in his credits, right? Because he had fallen behind, but he was technically there for his second year, right? So like credit-wise, class course-wise, because of how bad his grades were, he was technically at a freshman level, but he had been there for he'd already been there for 2 years. Is I think what he was trying to say here. I think that's what he's trying to say here. And I'm guessing he's saying we were trying to correct like maybe mainstream media or something like that. But I don't know. I guess maybe we need to go back in and listen to how Scott Green talked about it, because I'm pretty sure that their like classifications were talked about several times. So I don't know what he's saying right here. I know that they were just talking shit about mainstream media and like social media and other stuff too. So that's probably what he's talking about.
Yeah, he would never pass out at the fraternity ever, I don't think.
Yeah, second year freshman.
He never would in my room. You'd always get walked home, or which was Xana's. But
I gotcha. What year are you? Okay. So at the frat, do you have your own room?
I live with one other guy, but yeah.
So you have a two-room.
Man,
yeah, versus the 4 or 6 or.
There's 2 mans and 6 mans.
Okay.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys know that Ethan's not a freshman, right? I keep saying that Ethan's a freshman.
Yes, we know all this.
Okay.
We've tried to correct them. They were unwilling to make changes. That's fine, because they don't want to act like they don't know.
Yeah, like the university is the one that's putting that.
We have their full academic records. We have everything.
We don't know that Kohberger was back in active addiction or not, but his past addiction was heroin. And yeah, it was a needle as far as we're understanding. But we don't know. We don't have any idea if he was in active addiction, in some sort of active usage or anything like that. There's been no proof of that. We just know for sure, and it's been verified through a lot of different things, that when he was a teenager, it was a ginormous issue. But there's no proof that he was using again at all. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He was a sophomore.
That's on them.
Yeah.
We can only provide them information if they want to correct themselves. They can correct themselves, but what happens when they correct themselves?
They look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it causes doubt, and then they start losing viewership, and when they lose viewership, they lose marketing capital, right? And it goes on and on. So
Why is he acting like he actually knows shit about shit? One more time.
I live with one other guy, but yeah.
So you have a two room.
Man,
yeah, versus the 4 or 6 or.
Yeah, there's 2 mans and 6 mans.
Okay.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys know that Ethan's not a freshman, right? I keep saying that Ethan's a freshman.
Yes, we know all that.
Okay.
We've tried to correct them. They were unwilling to make changes. That's fine, because they don't want to act like they don't know.
Yeah, like the university is the one that's putting that.
We have their full academic records. We have everything.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He was a sophomore.
Yeah. That's on them.
Yeah.
We can only provide them information if they want to correct themselves. They can correct themselves, but what happens when they correct themselves?
They look bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it causes doubt, and then they start losing viewership, and when they lose viewership, they lose marketing
See what I mean?
capital, right? And it goes on and on. So, have you ever been to the Chapin's place?
I have. They keep saying they want to bring me up during break, but I haven't been there before now.
Okay. Did Ethan ever go down?
So after the fact, they're mentioning wanting to bring him up after break. You know that they did that with Hunter Johnson and Emily, right? I'm pretty sure they said it was like the 15th, the night of the 15th. They spent the night out at the Chapin's Lake House, Hunter and Emily, before they took off for Mexico the next morning. And this is after, according to the interviews that were done for the damn James Patterson book and the Amazon series, the Chapin shut down the fraternity at some point after the murders to have like a night in or whatever the frick you call it with like the fraternity. And they said that like there was no phones and all this other shit. And like the doors stayed locked until midnight and everyone had to give up their keys, like one of them kind of things. I'm just like, huh? Yeah. I'm going to pull that stuff up. We're going to talk about that again, because that's crazy to me. How much inside information it seems like maybe the Chapins were able to try to get away from out of people so that they could do whatever they needed to do, and look how they're behaving now with like almost a complete erasure of Ethan from the story, to come out instantly and be like, there was no drug problem, there was no love triangle, and the first thing that we see on a timeline is Erica telling Ethan that he's being cheated on, and suddenly the best friend used to date Xana and blah blah blah, the crazy shit. They're definitely hiding like a lot.
Onto your folks.
Nope, he was gonna do that this break. He was gonna come down and visit, but yeah.
That would have been pretty cool for him.
Yeah, that would have been sick. Gonna do that. Come get a change of scenery. Work a few days down there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It does the mind and body good work.
Mm-hmm. Get on the back of a horse. It's like a different type of therapy.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Describe quality, positive, negative. Ethan's relationship strengths bonds. Surrounded by love. Hardly ever had arguments. Kind of goofy. Quick to laugh.
Super goofy.
So what's happening right now when you're hearing him saying things that sound like he's feeding him answers, what it really is the questionnaire that he already filled out. And in this interview, the detective is reading back to him his handwritten answers to get like fuller descriptions on basically why he answered the question that way.
So I want to, obviously there's going to be things I'm going to queue up on, right? I understand. Really gregarious guy.
Mm-hmm.
He'd kind of be the center of attention.
Oh, yeah.
Unwantingly, not unwillingly, but unwantingly.
Yeah.
It sounds like just the people I've spoken with him thus far is he just kind of had a way of drawing people towards him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never had arguments. I'm going to queue up on this one. So we all have conflicts. We all have, sometimes it's with siblings, sometimes it's with friends, whatever. I know that people got kicked out of parties out of their house, out of Xana's house periodically and things like that. If there were an argument, how would Ethan handle that?
He wouldn't yell. That's for one thing. He'd keep his voice, the bass in his voice would be low.
Okay.
Be real with them.
The bass in his voice would be low.
Like, yeah.
You ever
wouldn't use
observe any of that?
No, I've kicked people out of parties because I'm not afraid to be a dick, but but he's kind of doesn't want to. He doesn't like altercation, so I mean, I really haven't seen that. I was going to say something before.
What were you going to say?
Oh, it'll come back.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Talking about altercations, kind of.
No, it was before that. Damn it. It wasn't anything big.
Well, here's the interesting thing is sometimes even the smallest things help us solve the case. So you said he doesn't like confrontation.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
He doesn't like confrontation because he likes his image and like how he's viewed by other people, which is how a lot of people are. I know I'm that way, but not as much as he was. Like he didn't like being a dick to people, being rude, mean,
right,
kicking them out of party type deal.
So then who was kicking the people out of the parties every single time there was a problem over at 1122 with the freaking delts then? If not big ol' Ethan. Hunter Johnson doing it for him? I mean, because that was like a big topic of conversation with all the other Sigma Chi guys. Was the problems with the delts when it comes to the 1122 house. My desk is acting up. I gotta reset it. Don't act crazy. So if Ethan's non-confrontational and he doesn't want to be a dick and kick people out, who's kicking out the delts out of 1122 when things get rowdy and they want him to leave? Who's doing that?
And when he was in the wrong, he would admit it. He wouldn't like argue with it about it.
Okay.
He knew he was in the wrong, that type of thing.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially if someone who's 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he had any beefs or any bad blood with anyone?
Oh, here's what I was going to say. I was just going to say, like, he and his brother.
He and his brother? So it sounded like he was just about to go say he and his brother. So there he's saying something right now about Ethan and Hunter Johnson.
He doesn't like confrontation because he likes his image and like how he's viewed by other people, which is how a lot of people are. I know I'm that way, but not as much as he was. Like he didn't like being a dick to people, being rude, mean,
right,
kicking them out of party type deal. And when he was in the wrong, he would admit it. He wouldn't like argue with it about it.
Okay.
He knew he was in the wrong, that type of thing.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Especially if someone who's 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if he had any beefs or any bad blood with anyone?
Took all of their stuff out of here.
Oh, here's what I was going to say. I was just going to say, like, he and his brother.
He and his bro. Lots of silence.
Okay.
So I wonder what was he on?
So minor arguments.
Super minor, yeah.
Is it like him and Hunter?
Not anything we didn't do.
What does that mean? Not anything we didn't do? At first I was like, were him and his brother, like, were Ethan and Hunter Chapin constantly getting in little, like, tiffs and fights? But to then be like, not something we all didn't do? What the hell does that mean? Let's let it run again. These redactions are stupid.
Okay. So minor arguments.
Super minor, yeah. not anything we didn't do.
Not anything we didn't do. What the
Do you
fuck
have
does
any
that mean?
siblings?
Oh, see, and then it talks about siblings again. So is it something to do with the boys constantly fighting with each other? I don't know. It's interesting, though.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, then to keep siblings in the conversation, yeah. Very odd. Lots of redaction. Right? Like that. Well, I'll just pause here. I find that interesting because the way, and this part seems to be more opinionated in way of that damn James Patterson book. But you know how they talk to like the frat guys, they talk to the Chapins, they talk to Johnson and Allant, they talk to Josie, they talk to Lyndon, they talk to like everybody. And the way that like the relationship between Hunter Chapin and Ethan is described in the book, and again, this is obviously opinionated based off of everything that they heard. There's a section where it's discussing how Ethan almost chose to go with the fraternity that Hunter Johnson was in, but then he changed his mind last minute, and that it wouldn't have mattered what Hunter Chapin technically wanted because Ethan was the ringleader, and Ethan knew that the choice that he was going to be making was going to be not just a choice for himself, but with the additional pressure of knowing that it was also the choice for his brother. So I know that the dynamic has to be different when you're a twin, when you're a triplet, than it is if it's just like normal sibling rivalry where maybe the little brother and the big brother bicker and argue and one feels more responsible, blah, 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 whatever. Those the dynamics are the same but different because of them being triplets. So I wonder if a lot of that fighting just had to do with maybe like resentment on if all of that is true. If there was arguing going on, I feel like if anything, it would be resentment towards each other because Hunter Chapin would maybe feel like, you know, Ethan is the leader and he kind of feels like his life is decided by someone else because that's what's been expected of him his whole life. Like the parents were just like, whatever Ethan does, he's the leader and Hunter's going to do it too to make it easier for them because, I mean, we don't know. This is how it kind of feels. With the whole, we played that card to get them to go back to the school and they could have finished anywhere. They didn't have to go back to that campus. They got their tuition paid for back to them. They could have gone anywhere but back to that freaking Sigma Chi house where Hunter was watching out of his window and saw where his brother was murdered every freaking day. What kind of mother chooses to purposely put their child through that kind of mental and emotional anguish every freaking day just to prove a point? Just to save face and keep your reputation shiny. How freaking disgusting of you. They could have gone anywhere. And if those parents honestly really gave two shits about Maisie and Hunter, they would have gone anywhere else. They would have not gone back to that school. Let's be serious. I think the majority of us agree on that. So I wonder if Ethan resented Hunter because he felt extra responsible. And if Hunter resented Ethan because he knew that Ethan was having, like, whatever Ethan did, he knew he didn't have a choice. He had to follow along. I don't know. I see that Hunter Chapin is not like following along with this bullshit that his parents are. Like Maisie is. She's writing letters and joining in on the lawsuits that are going on. The one that Karen Laramie filed. The Chapins piggybacked on that one. Now with EWU filing against Moscow Police Department, they're now piggybacking onto Moscow Police Department side after they were just suing Moscow Police Department. Like the whole thing is crazy. And Hunter Chapin is not entertaining it. He's not filing a letter. He's not a respondent or a person that's being attached to it or intervener, I guess is the term for it. He's not anywhere on it. And again, this is just like my opinion based off of just things that we've kind of like gone over and read and the way that I see the Chapins freaking behaving about things. And it's just been in my mind for a while if that was a situation, because we also and I know shock is a thing. Like I'm not stupid, but when we see the Chapins like walk up and like get to the scene. I mean, I don't know. It's all just very strange. Emotions, I guess. And that's not to say that like there might be some sort of involvement or anything. I'm just basing an opinion on like maybe behaviors, reasons for certain things. If there's a bunch of bickering between siblings and stuff going on. Maisie did say it was weird that he told her that he loved her because they don't say that to each other. So, I don't know. Just thoughts, I guess.
I think Ethan had that same sense of responsibility. He kind of seemed like the leader of the trio.
Yeah, he definitely did. He was definitely the most mature.
The most mature? Okay. More redaction. How long is this one for? How long is this going to be?
You don't know if... Okay. You don't know of Ethan getting in any trouble, being arrested, having court involvement, anything like that. From what I understand, because that was one of the first things I asked, is how many times has law enforcement been called to that residence?
We were told
it sounds like you got called there a few times for parties.
We were told
the residents they were killed at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's been law enforcement called there a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone generally runs out the back and scatters.
Or just stays in the house, yeah.
I joke about this, but it's true. When I was in college, I paid my rent by having keggers.
Yeah, that's what one of the guys told me about that.
And
let's sit back and just reminisce about the good old college days in the middle of a murder investigation, Mr. Lake. Let's just go ahead and do that. Shut the frick up. Like, I know they're probably trying to like get a rapport going, but we've got 4 people dead here. Can we just like get to the business of what needs to be done? The pleasantries are getting nauseating for real.
I joke about this, but it's true. When I was in college, I paid my rent by having keggers.
Yeah, that's what one of the guys told me about that.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah. So I get it. I truly do. That's why I said the only thing I care about is finding the person that's responsible for this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We all had youthful indiscretions, right?
Yeah.
Describes Ethan's personality, bubbly, which made people love him, love being around him, pardon me. Very personable.
Yeah.
Okay. How was he in the frat? Because I know there can be some.
Yeah, no, he was not allowed to live in the house because of his grades.
Okay.
Back-to-back semesters, he had GPA below 2.75, which we consider that deficient. So he needed to get above a 2.75 to live in the house the next semester. So that's why he was living way over here in this apartment. And
at the memorial, though, we were told by one of the Sigma Chi frat guys that right before he died, he had been saying that he was super excited about being able to be moving back in for the next semester. So we know that Xana had helped him apparently like get his grades and stuff up. Like she would really helped him like want to pay attention and get on course and get his GPA up. And he was going to be moving back in really soon. So he fixed whatever problem he had apparently.
So he was still a member though. Like he was still invited to all of our stuff. Just couldn't live in the house.
Is that part of the national rules?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I thought it meant like you really couldn't do a lot of other stuff.
It's adjusted by our house bylaws too.
Okay. What position do you hold? Do you hold a position with Fred?
I'm
with Fred. That's why I don't like captions with Fred. Oh, so he does have a position. Is that what the report says the position was? I don't remember hearing what position he had.
And it's...
Oh, thank you for the gifted membership, Sharon. Thank you. Congratulations to the person who got that.
Adjusted by our house bylaws too.
Okay. What position do you hold? Do you hold a position with Fred?
I'm the
With Fred. Woo! Oh. You can't hear his pencil. How nice.
Did Ethan hold any positions? No.
No.
GPA, pretty. Tipped him up.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's pretty well liked by all the brothers?
Yeah.
Terry brothers?
Everyone
Okay.
loved him.
Terry
Obviously,
brothers?
there was a couple people that looked at him like he was lazy because his grades weren't the greatest, but that was very few.
Okay. Do you know of any beefs within the fraternity? And not just within the house itself, maybe with other
fraternities.
Yeah.
Oh, there's his thinking cap
No,
activated.
there was always people that me and Ethan would talk shit about just because they're obviously odd or weird or annoying or, the typical college humor type of thing, making fun of people behind their back. Me and Ethan kind of did that a little bit to like a couple people. Now,
Me and Ethan kind of did that a little bit, made fun of people behind their backs. So when I was listening to this section of this, the part that came to my mind, and I don't remember which interview this was. I don't remember if it was her 12:30 interview or if it was the 11:17 interview, but there was a story that Dylan told about Ethan making fun of her, and it just so happened to be at the exact same time where the pieces of video in that one TikTok that was Maddie's, what I'm assuming, based on what people are saying, the last thing she posted on TikTok, where it's Dylan in the blue wig and that like Halloween type outfit, and it's like calling her a manipulator and a gaslighter and a liar, and I know it was like a trending thing or whatever, but you don't put that kind of verbiage on someone's actual face unless you mean it. And she, in her story, it's Ethan like making fun of her because of like the thing outfit that she was, that she had on. So I wonder how much of the making fun of people behind people's backs they did on Dylan, considering that was part of her interview story of her history there with Ethan.
They're obviously odd or weird or annoying or, the typical college humor type of thing, making fun of people behind their back. Me and Ethan kind of did that a little bit to like a couple people. Now, he didn't really have any beef.
Okay.
No beef. He never started any of that.
Can you tell me about some people you guys thought were odd? Maybe that were kind of within the circles?
Yeah. The names? He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me, he's like, hey, you think I'm weird or something? He's like, no, man. So, but it's spelled with a C. It starts with a C, yeah.
So now he's saying names. Now Connor emailed me the names that he thinks this is. And I think he's right. Okay, so I guess this is where I'm going to bring up what he emailed me. I'm going to let this little section play out again, and then I'll tell you all.
You guys thought were odd? Maybe that were kind of within the circles?
Yeah. The names? He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me, he's like, hey, you think I'm weird or something? He's like, no, man. So, but it's spelled with a C. It starts with a C. Yeah.
Did you hear the consonants he said?
I don't think at all.
Listen.
The names? He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me, he's like, hey, you think I'm weird or something? He's like, no, man. So, but
okay, C and a J. The person that Connor thinks this is a guy named Caleb Jacobson. And this is an interesting person, according to Connor. He's one of the very few U of I students that Ethan actually followed on TikTok. And he's friends with Emily Alott and Hunter Johnson, and it looks like he may have had a prior relationship with Lakeland McComas. He sent me a couple of photos. One of them has Hunter Johnson in it. Like it's gonna show a bunch of my email stuff. But let me open it this way. Does it let me open it this way? Open this way. Does it let me see the pictures if I open it this way? Okay, let me show y'all this guy. Okay. So this seems to be Lakeland and the dude. This is Caleb Jacobson. Lakeland and him again. There's Hunter Johnson, and I'm pretty sure this is the dude right there. And then this is him and Lakeland again. Him with the damn stuffed animal that goes around with the frats and stuff that Xana had. Pretty sure that's Lakeland. Is that Lakeland making a face? Maybe that's Lakeland. And then there's him and Emily and Hunter Johnson, and I don't know who that girl is. But it'll be interesting if he is one of the people that Ethan didn't seem to like very much, considering Ethan was following him over on social media, according to Home Dude over here. You know? So, I mean, if I think someone's weird, I ain't following your ass on social media. So what would you be following somebody that you don't really like, according to your own friend right here? You know? Oh,
Kind of within the circles.
Yeah. The names. He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me, he's like, hey, you think I'm weird or something? He's like, no, man. So, but it's spelled with a C. It starts with a C. Yeah. I don't think at all he has anything to do with it, but it's
No,
you asked.
yeah. Anyone else?
Human. We just didn't like him because he's.
What's the spelling of his last?
okay, let me see if I can catch on to this next one.
We're kind of within the circles.
Because it almost sounded like one day I'll get to a doctor. Okay, I know I cough a lot. It'll get there eventually. I can't tell if he's saying a B or a D right here, so I'm trying to listen again.
The names
of the second guy.
He doesn't think we're weird because he asked me, he's like, hey, you think I'm weird or something? He's like, no, man. So, but it's spelled with a C.
See, that was the Caleb Jacobson guy, I think.
I don't think at all he has anything to do with it, but it's you asked.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Human. We just didn't like him because he's.
What's the spelling of his last?
See, I don't know if this is.
Anyone else?
Human.
My brain is hearing Matt Damon. Okay. Yeah, in my head, I'm hearing Matt Damon, and I'm like, that's not it. That's not it. Mason Bangman definitely sounds like what it is. No, it's because I smoked for like 20 plus years, and sometimes I go to the smoke shop and I smoke like those like little pre-rolls that they have here in Texas, and I still vape. You know, so you know, it's just we're all gonna die. You know, if it's something crazy, then we'll handle it. If not, then I'll just hack up like an old lady for the rest of my life. It'll be okay. I really thought he said Matt Damon. Matt Mason Bangman definitely makes more sense. So is he sitting here gonna try to pretend like he doesn't have an actual reason to not really like Mason Bangman? Because that's definitely that's another ex of Xana's. And considering that he also had a previous relationship with Xana, it's interesting now that he can list the other ex as somebody that the current guy and the other ex also didn't like. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. Interesting stuff.
So, but it's spelled with a C.
Interesting
stuff. With a C, yeah. I don't think at all he has anything to do with it. But
right? Like what the shit?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Human. We just didn't like him because he's.
What's the spelling of his last?
Yep. And now I just have nicotine-free ones. I've been using nic-free vapes forever. They're literally just flavored air. I tried the fume thing that doesn't have anything with it, and it's just like a device, and you pull on it. If I'm not getting a pressure when I'm doing like the pull, it doesn't do what it needs to do to make the fixation the whole thing go away. Nicotine-free vapes. Really helped. I smoked for 20 years. I smoked since I was 15. And I started with Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Red straight up. And then I smoked menthols, which is like 1,000 times worse, for a good like 15 years. Had to be a Marlboro. They got thousands of my monies, bro. Thousands of my monies I'll never get back. Lots of monies. Lots of monies.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure I have it on the list.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's what came to mind when I was talking to you about that.
Okay. Anyone else just kind of like a creeper, you know, lurking around here or there? Or I know fraternities, I know how it works and everything else. I was
2 packs a day, baby. 2 packs a day. I don't know what I did that to myself. And look, like I still don't look very old. Like I figured I'd be like a leather satchel smoking for so long.
part of one in school. I was working my ass off and going to school and everything
else.
Paying
your way through it, huh?
I was.
Yeah.
Didn't take any loans. I was pretty proud of that. But a lot of my buddies were. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of interesting because, you know, I mean, it's tight circle, but yet there's always this kind of loner or two that are just
odd.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone like that?
Awkward. Not really. That guy's a little awkward, but that's all I can really think of.
Was that the Caleb guy? That Caleb guy is kind of awkward because that's who Connor thinks he's talking about, and it sounds like it does.
Not really. That guy's a little awkward, but that's all I can really think of.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily awkward. He's a douche.
Yep.
Literally.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I'm asking. I'm picking your brain for a reason on these.
Yeah.
Anyone else that you can think of? I mean, again, just that kind of person that maybe pervs up on the girls or something, even whether it be a formal or just, you know, a party or anything.
Actually, yeah. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but I have heard in the past he was saying weird shit to the girls, specifically the girls in that house. What's his freaking name? Give me a second. I'll take a minute to find this. Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. He says it pretty freaking clear. Holy shit.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Connor thinks, and I'm 1,000% correct. I don't really think it could be another name with what we just heard. The horrible redactions be Jesse Hollick. See, I'd never heard that name before. He wrote me this email. I was like, who the frick is that? So they mentioned Mason Bangman, what is assumed to be Caleb Jacobson, and what you can basically pretty much just concretely claim is Jesse Hollick because their $1 million redactions are done incorrectly. Wild. Oh, you did? Okay, well, I'm going to go back in and see. I get so many emails, like, unless it's something I focus on, like, it doesn't even. So I'll go back and put his name in the search bar and pull that back up. Thank you for reminding me, because I know that you'll have information too. So I'm going to go pull it up in a second here.
He was friends with all of them, though, so I don't.
I remember Mason's emails you sent me.
I mean,
there was a lot of stuff.
I've heard of him. I've heard people say that he said some weird stuff to the girls. Weird stuff, as in like sexual shit stuff.
And this is the Hollick guy.
I didn't hear that for myself, by the way. I was told that.
That's fair. Anyone else?
He's trying to think, who else can I point this at? Caden Young, that's another one. Another name that we've definitely wanted to look at more. Plus that Gabe dude from that Scott interview is still like living rent-free in my brain.
No, but I do have another name of people that Ethan and I thought were weird and really, really annoying. One of the guys, his name is
Okay, so this is where Connor believes this is Kai Davis, which I said that's crazy if it is Kai Davis because there's another Bethany connection right there. Okay, so now we have Peter having a connection with Bethany and having a connection with Xana, and it just so happens that both the guy that Bethany is currently messing around with and the guy that Xana was in the past messing around with are both on Ethan and Peter's shit list of people that they think are weird and they don't like. So how did that go down if he doesn't like Kai Davis very much, considering the fact that Ethan was basically living at 1122 with Xana? And once again, the way that Kai Davis gave us the information in the interview was that over the past few weeks before the crime took place, him and Bethany were sleeping together so much that he was over there so much. His roommates thought he was the male that had died that morning and freaked out thinking it was him. So how did that work with them all under the same roof constantly? If they don't like each other, or if Ethan thinks he's weird and doesn't like him. Did he just deal with it because non-confrontational? I don't even know. Just a lot of triangles, unlike little Miss Chapin over there try to pretend that there wasn't. Ridiculous.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he has it. I don't think any of these people have anything to do with it, but I don't know. I honestly don't know, you know.
Now, remember I talked about how, okay, there's a room of 100 people and a fight breaks out and we, you know, a lot of times.
Maybe some of these names could help you too.
I mean, a lot of times, you know, we go out there and we triage, we talk to a bunch of people, and then we come back and we talk to them 2-3 more times.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, the same names get mentioned and other things of that nature. And it doesn't mean that they're guilty or anything else.
Yeah.
It just means maybe we need to have more of a one-on-one with them and just sit down and chat.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all. And it helps us out. I mean, because even though he or any of these may have nothing to do with it, maybe they recognize something that you haven't, right? They recognize that motor that is always lurking beyond where you're looking. Right. Because they themselves, you know, you think about multiple circles, right? And here's your purview of what's going on. And because they aren't necessarily in that inner circle, they're out here. They not only, you know, you see part of that circle, but you never see this outline circle, right? And maybe they are privy to that. And you never know. Like I said, it could help out.
For this one, I remember that Ethan's the one that told me what he was saying, some of this shit stuff.
Okay.
Ethan had told me that the next day.
So Ethan's the one that told Peter that the Jesse Hollick guy was saying a bunch of inappropriate stuff to the girls, according to him. Is that what he's saying? Okay.
Okay. Who, from what, you know, talking with admits that Ethan shared a lot with him. They had done, but he said if there was anything that was dark, he would share it with people.
Oh yeah.
So is there anything like that, any person out there that Ethan's just mentioned before and he's like, I don't like that guy, or man, that guy creeps me out, or anything of that nature?
We both didn't like, not because he
both didn't like who?
Not because he's done anything bad to us or any of that. Just because he's really, really awkward.
What does he look like?
Curly hair, chubby-ish, kind of slender, chubby kind of build.
This has got to be the guy that Connor sent me the pictures of. He's literally describing this Caleb Jacobson dude. Curly hair, kind of chubby faced, like not like super skinny. Like you can tell he has a little bit of like meat to him, you know, normal-ish. That's what he sounds like.
Acne.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably not real popular with ladies.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I also wrote in here, or the gal wrote in here, you were saying if he had any like I don't know the way to put it, but he was telling me that it was really hard to date Xana, which that might be irrelevant right now. But the reason he said was because she was really also had a super bubbly personality, which was really attractive, and guys flocked to her even though she had a boyfriend. And being Xana, she wouldn't entertain it, but just the attention she got from it would get Ethan jealous.
Okay.
But I don't. Yeah.
No, that's important to know.
Yeah.
I mean, by all accounts, they had a great relationship.
Yeah.
And I could see that. She's kind of fun and gregarious, just like he is.
Yeah.
So it'd be safe to say that Xana had other admirers, but she never allowed those to.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of those jump to the front of the page for you?
No, she wouldn't. Yeah, none. Because people kind of knew, oh, you don't mess with Ethan because he was a huge dude. You don't want to mess with him. Yeah.
Non-confrontational, but you don't want to mess with him because he's a huge dude. He wouldn't raise his voice. He'd keep his voice low. Non-confrontational, didn't want to argue, was worried about people's perception of him, so he didn't want to be a dick. But, oh, don't mess with Ethan. This is not me saying an opinion. I'm just literally reverbatizing, if that's a word, retelling what this guy just said. So something else I will repeat, like I've said 1,500 times in this case, it can't be both. So either he was non-confrontational and people knew that he was big for nothing and wasn't going to do shit, or he wasn't non-confrontational and he actually did do shit. So which one was it? Which one was it? Can't be both.
Okay.
He's like 6'4". Big old dude.
No, that's not a word. Sometimes I like to just make shit up, okay?
So it'd be safe to say Xana had other admirers, but she belonged with Ethan.
Yeah.
Okay.
She never. Yeah.
Never acted on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, then we need some clarification on the Erica messages, if that's how everyone feels. Because I really don't think that if people knew that if Xana was actually cheating on Ethan and if people knew, I feel like these people wouldn't say anything. Because, where's Erica? Where's the Erica girl? And is Caleb Jacobson the same one? No, it's not. It's an Atkinson last name. Because there's a guy in the wee morning hours that tries to FaceTime Ethan 5 times in a row and doesn't get an answer, but it's a different name. Okay.
Some of his habits, like Xbox, football, all sports, partying with his friends. Worked a lot with. Sounds like kind of all American kid these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you play Xbox?
No. I play a little bit of PlayStation, but it's not even my PlayStation. It's my roommates, and then I play on my, but I don't play a whole lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, melt your brain. You need those for being a future titan of business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minecraft is
did he
good for
play a
your
lot
brain.
online, like with other players from?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He played a lot online, but with other fraternity members.
Like local?
Yeah. He play Rocket League.
I love that
I don't
game.
even know what that is.
Huh?
I don't even know what that is.
I've watched people play it before, but I've never played it. It's just you kick a ball with a car, or you hit a ball with a car trying to make it.
It's like race
soccer.
soccer. I love that damn game.
Yeah. It seems stupid, but
no, it doesn't. Touch your face.
Any recent positive or negative changes? He was always happy.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Okay. Significant events prior to his death? Have none.
Yeah.
He and Xana still getting along well?
Just what I told you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Was there any one person more so than another that he would be jealous of?
No.
That maybe was showing,
Yeah. No.
attention towards Xana.
Yeah, that's true too, huh?
Because she wouldn't let that happen either. She wouldn't, like, if somebody was starting to get touchy-feely with her, she would back off, like, get away from me type of deal. But yeah, no, he never said anything to me about being more uncomfortable with one dude towards her than another guy. Like,
Okay.
and that was the first time that night, the night they got killed, that night was the first time that he had mentioned to me that it was hard dating her.
Oh, you mean the same night he gets messages about being cheated on? So, okay, let's take that into some context then for a minute. So let's say that they were at wherever Xana went after the Whites party. Didn't she go to Allie's with Bethany before they went back? Actually, no, that's not correct either. Wasn't that something that we heard that didn't end up being right? I'd have to go look at the timeline to know for sure. All we know is that Ethan left. And then at some point, everyone goes back to 11:22 and takes a nap. So what if the Erica girl is somebody like in passing that maybe just saw Xana, like maybe just having a discussion with somebody, and because of the way maybe she talks, maybe it looked like it was flirty and the girl sent that message? Because the conversation that's being had here, if this whole thing happened, isn't, oh, someone's telling me that Xana's cheating on me and I don't know what to do, or if it's true, or blah, blah, blah. It's really hard to date Xana because so many people are attracted to her because she's such a likable girl that it's hard for me. Is granted, we don't know what the hell the truth is. That's just what this guy's saying. So I wonder if it's just like something like that and it wasn't really like a cheating thing, and maybe something that somebody took out of context. And that's why like now he's having this more innocent type conversation about like, it's kind of hard sometimes because maybe that wasn't the first time that somebody tried to tell him that Xana was cheating on him and it wasn't true. I don't know. But this dude sure isn't mentioning anything about no Erica or no possible cheating or nothing like that. He's just, oh, none of us liked any of her ex-boyfriends, and it was really difficult for him to date her because everyone loved her so much. And that's the first time they talk about it. It's the same night that he's getting these messages from Erica. So obviously the two are related in some way, shape, or form. There's no way that coincidence just happens.
So
When did he mention that?
when we were at the formal, we went to a formal for Kappa Alpha Theta that night. He went with his sister, and I went with another gal.
Mm-hmm.
How did you take his comment towards you? I mean, you know him really well. Kind of how he was projecting that comment. How did you take it?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I grabbed him aside, took him outside, and I was like, okay, let's go have a beer and talk about it. And we went and talked about it. And he kind of just.
Now remember, we see on camera on the Linden Lane footage what I think might very possibly be Ethan and Pete walking into the Linden Lane apartments. So the timeline that we've got already makes it seem as if at some point there was a separation between Xana and Ethan and Pete. Now, from what we have one missed call, not two, like the horrible timeline led us to believe incorrectly until we took a freaking deeper look at the details. But then we also have Xana sending a message to Pistol Pete saying, "You good?" So I wonder if that was the time that they like just walked away and went somewhere else to like have this so-say discussion. And I wonder if it really was them on the Linden Lane camera, because it's just an assumption for now with the timing and what we know and how freaking much it looks like them. Oh my God.
Just elaborated on it because at first he said, it's hard dating Xana. I was like, what do you mean? And then we kind of went outside and talked about it, and he told me about how like she is always like surrounded by dudes because of her personality, and I guess he was a jealous individual, which I didn't catch that. But yeah, we were outside for a short time. And
was he pausing to see if the cop was going to make a comment about how Ethan was jealous? Was he trying to bait something with that? What was the pause for?
he told me about how like she is always like surrounded by dudes because of her personality, and I guess he was a jealous individual, which I didn't catch that.
To the pause.
But yeah,
He was waiting for validation of what he just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he didn't say any one person or another.
Okay. No.
Pardon me.
We must both be allergic to bullshit.
Other than that, sounds like things were normal.
Yeah.
Risky behaviors. Drinking that night and had played Xbox too before. What about Polly?
No, and we have pictures of him at Hunga Dunga an hour before the party started, and he's maybe got a little bit of like a 5 o'clock shadowy situation happening, but he definitely didn't have a beard. We have pictures of him up until he died.
And what Polly uses is like combining, whether it be a prescribed medication with alcohol or maybe an illicit narcotic or something like that with alcohol. Were they into that at all?
No, he took he might have taken an Adderall that night.
Did he say that it was the formal? Let me go back and re-listen because I didn't catch that part.
How did you take his comment towards you? I mean, you know him really well. Mm-hmm. Kind of how he's projecting that comment. How did you take it?
I'm not even gonna lie.
See, and that's what the damn 4chan shit talked about, Connor. I haven't talked to Connor about this. I don't know if he knows a lot about the 4chan stuff. But that was the 4chan conversation, was that there was an argument between Ethan and the Barriocha guy and the Loach guy, and they're two different dudes. It's David Barriocha and then a guy they call I think Dirty South is David Barriocha. There's two losers, the two Davids. And apparently one of them was sort of like responsible for Ethan a little bit, and then his grades slipped. And so he sort of got like in trouble because he was like the fraternity guy that was like, supposed to be helping the freshmen. And it looks like he sort of failed because of Ethan's grades. And apparently there was some sort of resentment against Xana for that too, because as soon as like Ethan got with Xana, he got his shit together, his grades started going up, and she like helped him study and tutored him and all this other stuff. But on top of that, there was also some sort of like lust. I mean, I don't know what else you could call it. For not just Xana, but apparently towards Maddie too. There was something in there about Maddie as well. And something about somebody walked in on two people doing something to each other, and somebody has an issue because of steroid use and stuff like that, Just going off the top of my head. But that was one of the very first rumors that came out here. And even the girl, though, Connor, that chick that we went over the interview of 2 months ago, I guess now, the one that was like really, really long, and she sounded like she was just on there trying to talk for attention. But she lived at 1119 and was at that party, and we could see on the 1112 camera her coming home. Yeah, something did happen. But the way that the girl described it was like it was a ego v ego type thing. Because she does, like, she mentions it, and she mentions basically like witnessing it. And she doesn't make it sound like it's as big of a deal as the 4chan stuff makes everything seem, but she definitely brings it up. Yeah, shriveled that thing. That was like a thing with that. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I mean, it would make sense. I'm gonna go back and pull that information from her so that we can maybe do a live kind of like comparing what she said to the 4chan stuff. I mean, she could just be talking out of her ass. But I feel like she's also the girl that gave the footage of Murphy being walked out the house to that London's Notebook chick like a long time ago. That footage came from her. So she did live at 1119. She also had a story about Enan Harsh. Remember where she's like, hey, he just walked into the house and went straight to the back and I had to report him to the cops and all that kind of crazy shit. Trust me, I haven't forgotten about my little deep dive into lying little Enan Harsh over there. That'll come soon enough.
I grabbed him aside.
But we're going to do a comparison. I think we need to. I think we probably need to go back and look at it again.
I took him outside and I was like, okay, let's go have a beer and talk about it. And we went and talked about it. And he kind of just elaborated on it. Because at first he said...
Let me go back so I can see if they speak about a location. Because I can't tell if he's talking about them being at the Hunga Dunga party or at Sigma Chi when this happened. Okay, I'll go look at him.
Any recent positive or negative changes? He was always happy.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Okay.
Such an underestimated or like understated word for that man. I think we might need to make up a new one for him for sure.
Significant events prior to his death? Have none.
Yeah.
He and Xana still getting along well?
Just what I told you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because remember in one thing we heard him say something about around like 4:00 in the morning, he was like walking across the lower 40 and like had this just weird feeling and that he needed to like hurry up and get back to his house. And then in the other thing, he said he was driving over there in the neighborhood because he was a Sobro guy at around 4:00 in the morning and it was like eerie and he just wanted to hurry up and get home. Well, you were either walking or you were in your car. Which one? Which one? You know, figure it out eventually.
Was there any one person more so than another that he would be jealous of?
No.
That maybe was showing, attention towards Xana.
Because she wouldn't let that happen either. She wouldn't, like, if somebody was starting to get touchy-feely with her, she would back off, like, get away from me type of deal. But, yeah, no, he never said anything to me about being more uncomfortable with one dude towards her than another guy. Like,
okay.
And that was the first time that night, the night they got killed, that night was the first time that he had mentioned to me that it was hard dating her. So.
When did he mention that?
When we were at the formal.
He does say that. Damn, really? Okay, well, that makes even more sense. Let me get this crackhead ass book. So, according to the timeline, it says... The first text that they have listed in here for Erica is at 17:03, which is what, 5:03 p.m.? And then at 5:32, Xana texts Ethan saying she's taking a nap until 8 o'clock. So then it jumps all the way from 5:30 to 7:19 when it has the Explorer leaving King Road to go head to the Kappa Alpha Theta house to go and pick up his sister. Along with Reagan Stansel, Darius Myers, Haley Bine, Jack Katovich, and Riley Black. And see those names right there? That's what I mean by when the other day when I said this is supposed to be a 108-page... Like, I guess it's an Excel, I don't know, is it an Excel spreadsheet? I don't know exactly like what they used to make the timeline, but whatever it is, it's 108 pages. So now that I've asked for it, I'm really wondering like how much they're going to charge for the redactions when names like that are going to have to be redacted out of 108 pages worth of information. It'll be super interesting. But the timing for him claiming that Ethan pulled him aside at the formal does add up to that, because the first message he got was right before like he left to go to the formal. But he's still like, I don't know, like Ethan tells Xana he's going to go back to her house and change at 20:07. And then we know that they get back to, like, they're hanging out that night. But we also need to remember that Bethany said that the freshman that Ethan brought with him for everyone to like go over together. I don't know if we ever got that person's actual name, but he was a freshman according to Bethany. They like went ahead of them, and Ethan and Xana came behind them to the party. So I wonder if they stayed behind because they were arguing about the messages that they were getting from Erica, or what was going on, because that situation would have taken place after he had done pulled him aside and started having a conversation with him. So I wonder, like, did the formal end because it actually was supposed to end in an hour? Or did everyone leave early because something was going on with Ethan and Xana and they were arguing? And was that why Maisie was upset? Maybe that the formal got ended early because Ethan left to go deal with some drama? Because now who freaking knows, you know? Who freaking knows?
Kappa Alpha Theta that night. He went with his sister and hung with another gal.
How would you take his comment towards you? I mean, you know him really well. Kind of how he's projecting that comment. How would you take it?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I grabbed him aside, took him outside, and I was like, okay, let's go have a beer and talk about it.
And you know what that sounds like coming from a guy who likes Xana? It's like you're taking your opportunity to get all the tea you possibly can about the relationship the girl that you like is in, because there's a possibility something's going on that could give you an in. So you're like all about it. Like once you know that him and Xana had a previous relationship, you cannot take his best friend status seriously. He's a Judas, in my opinion. Like there's just, especially since you're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, I didn't realize Ethan was a jealous man. Well, you're freaking one of Xana's exes and you're besties with him. What is that about? That's not, I don't give a frick what anyone tries to say. Relationships and friendships that stay like that when there's sex involved and emotions and love and all that bullshit, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, and it shouldn't happen, and it's fake if it does. I don't care what anybody says. Something always ends up happening and never stays perfect. Something always explodes. So when you hear the past he has with Xana, and you know that it hasn't really been that long because they just met at college. It's only been 2 years. Less than 2 years, year and a half. And some people might be like, oh, he's such a good friend. He pulled him aside and gave him a pat on the back and gave him a beer and let him have a moment to talk about his emotions. Is that the intention there? Or is it, I want the tea? Let me see if how much longer I got to pretend to be this dude's friend before I got a chance again. Is that what it is? Because I don't know. I don't know how trustworthy this friendship was. I don't trust it once you hear about those dynamics. I just do not. Oh, the freshman's name is Mason. It's in the 224-25 exhibits in support of motion in limine regarding eyebrow court doc. What the frickin' frack for why? Thank you for the 5 accomplished day. Why in the frick is his name in that one? I guess because Dylan's like explaining stuff, I guess. 224-25. I'm going to go pull it up. I'm going to let this play.
And we went and talked about it. He kind of just elaborated on it. Because at first he said, it's hard dating Xana. I was like, what do you mean? And then we kind of went outside and talked about it. And he told me about how, like, she is always, like, surrounded by dudes because of her personality. And I guess he was a jealous individual, which I didn't catch that. But yeah, it was just short. We were outside for a short time, and then we went back inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he didn't say any one person or another.
No.
Pardon me.
Oh, and for those of you that know about that timeline that people keep talking about, this is the person who made it. Right here. I don't know if they have a channel or anything connected to their icon if you click it where you can like see stuff on like their page or anything like that. But this is the person that created that crazy ass detailed timeline that's been a topic here for a while, just so you know.
Other than that, sounds like things were normal.
Yeah.
Risky behaviors.
Normal. Yep, look right here. So that's great. We literally read this the other day when this came out, and we were talking about the document that gave us some of the grand jury testimony finally. This was this document. So yeah, it says right here that the guy's name was Mason and he was a freshman. Okay. Because they were at the apartments beforehand, they had to go before. So I go down there. Ethan's there, triplet brother. Mason, one of the freshmen, is there. So I'm guessing that's the one that walked them to. Seems like that might be it. Parking lot in the dumpsters, headed home, White Claws. Yeah. Okay. I'm about to go back and look at photos because I know there's like, is it Mason with the M? Mason with the M? We've gone over this interview. Shit. Mason with the Mason Mitski something. I mean, I can't remember his freaking last name. He looks Hawaiian. Like a Hawaiian guy. Maybe a Hawaiian guy. I don't know. Let me see. Mason. Mystery. Mitsri. This is the one. Oh, wait, hold on. Not this way. This guy. We went over. No, stop playing. Yeah, this guy right here. We went over this guy's interview. One of the frat dudes. Mason Mitsri. Yeah, that was, when was that? April 6th. I wonder if that's the same Mason. Probably so.
Drinking that night and had played Xbox too before.
No, guys, this Mason that they're talking about is not going to be the Mason that is Xana's ex-boyfriend. It's a completely different Mason. That Mason is no longer on campus, was no longer on campus at the time.
What about poly use? And what poly use is like combining, whether it be a prescribed medication with alcohol or maybe an illicit narcotic or something like that with alcohol. Were they into that at all?
No.
Poly use? I have never heard being crossfaded being said as poly use before. Poly substance use refers to one or two more drugs or substances simultaneously or within a short period. I've never heard it terminology like that before. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, he took he might have taken an Adderall that night.
Why do you think that?
He said he would take Adderall because he needed energy.
Does he normally take Adderall?
He would take Adderall because he needed energy.
He might have taken an Adderall that night.
Why do you think that?
Right.
He said he would take Adderall because he needed energy.
Does he normally take Adderall?
Not every time he drinks, but it's a good. He takes it a good amount.
He takes them for energy.
Yeah.
Is he prescribed?
Meaning that just like I say about Dylan and drinking the same little 4.5% boo-boo for 2 days straight and how tolerance works regardless of size. By the way, Ethan constantly drinking and taking Adderalls is going to also build up a tolerance. So however long he's been doing that should definitely be considered when it comes to just how inebriated he might have been and what the effects could have been, because tolerance matters here. Again, these are people that partied almost daily. These weren't weekend drinkers, Thirsty Thursday, ladies' night, once a weekers. No. So if he was doing that a lot, then the effect of that definitely would not be as strong as one would normally assume, because tolerance is a thing.
Have those?
No.
Where's he get them from?
Anyone, people, I don't even know, honestly. People
Okay.
that he texts people,
Okay.
I don't even know.
So even though it's a prescription med, there's kind of this way to get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh.
Okay, but it wasn't.
Did he just say that like he's not a police officer? You mean that you mean you can get it without a prescription? Oh my god, I didn't know. That's what that sounded like.
He takes it a good amount.
He takes them for energy.
Yeah.
Is he prescribed those?
No.
Where's he get them from?
Anyone,
Is there a dog
people, I don't
in
even
the
know,
background
honestly.
of this interview?
People
Okay.
that he texts people, I don't
Okay.
even know.
So even though it's a prescription med, there's kind of this
See?
way to get them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, but it wasn't
I'm not even
prescribed.
sure who it was. No, he doesn't have a prescription.
Okay.
I don't even know if he has a prescription for anything, honestly. I don't
Okay.
think he does.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm almost positive he doesn't have a prescription for that.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other guys,
Davis-
the frat guys, and from the other interviews, like 2 of them at least, mentioned that if somebody wanted Addie's, Ethan was the person that you would go to because he always knew where to find it. Not that he was the person to get it from, like he wasn't the person that they were purchasing from, but that he always knew where to purchase it from, is how multiple of them put it.
Schedule, he'd get up, breakfast, go to class, do homework, study for quizzes. Usually would come over, just hang out, watch movies, play Xbox.
He's reading his thing again.
Nearly every day. That's
So he mentions the Xbox, but then he just told. So in his victims report, he's saying, yeah, Ethan comes over and plays Xbox, which makes sense for why at the beginning of this, he asked Peter if he has an Xbox and he just said no. So now we're hearing that that's actually written in his survey. He comes over and plays Xbox. Okay. Whose Xbox then? Because Peter just said he don't have one.
do homework, study for quizzes. Usually would come over, just hang out, watch movies, play Xbox. Nearly every day. That's what I hear is you two are pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
When you guys were hanging out, what would you guys talk about?
Anything and everything going on. What the plan was for the rest of the day, what we're going to do tomorrow.
What were you going to do the next day?
How school's going. Girls. Talked about girls a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just typical boy stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Would you say that the focus was more on what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're doing today, in other words, yet to happen today, or was it what was in the past?
What the fuck did he just ask him? What?
Hanging out, what would you guys talk about?
Hold on. What?
Oh,
he talks too much. What?
That's what I hear is you two are pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
When you guys were hanging out, what would you guys talk about?
Anything and everything going on. What the plan was for the rest of the day, what we're going to do tomorrow. How school's going. Girls. Talked about girls a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just typical boy stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Would you say that the focus was more on what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're doing today, in other words, yet to happen today, or was it what was in the past?
He just has an odd way of wording shit. Like, were you talking about today, tomorrow, the future, the past, the present, deep space? What are you talking about? What? Dude is weird.
Okay.
Super weird.
Yeah, just typical boy stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Would you say that the focus was more on what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're doing today, in other words, yet to happen today, or was it what was in the past?
If we ever talked about the past, it'd mainly just be talking about like good memories, like, oh, last weekend was so fun, we should do that again.
Yeah, that's normal.
But
Okay. So you're more looking forward to future events than dwelling on past events or recapping
100%.
positives.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the girls. There's
They shouldn't have
some
been.
of Xana's roommates.
They both had boys.
Very
Like, they both had
attractive. You ever
girlfriends.
hook up with any of those girls?
And this is where everything about him and Bethany goes quiet.
You ever try with any of the others? Okay.
no, I always thought Maddie was really pretty, but I never like tried anything with her because she had that boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your boyfriend?
I think his name's
Okay, so then he is technically the detailed description of the frat guy in the 4chan shit then. Because he has a past with Xana, and he just said he always thought Maddie was really pretty, but knew that he didn't have a chance because she had a boyfriend. And that's sort of the same gist of what it said about Maddie and the 4chan stuff. That's interesting.
Some of Xana's roommates, very attractive. You ever hook up with any of those girls?
Yeah, we're definitely going to go back over the 4chan stuff just to see how much of it is sort of carried over. Seems like a lot might have.
You ever try with any of the others? Okay.
No, I always thought Maddie was really pretty, but I never like tried anything with her because she had that boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
That boyfriend.
I think his name's James, right? Yeah.
That boyfriend.
You know him at all?
No, I've never met him.
Okay.
I've just seen pictures of him.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he graduated last year, I think. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, he'd
Maybe.
been graduated.
It's hard for me to add
Yeah.
information. Right?
Yeah.
And then it just goes quiet. Again. What could possibly be being asked right here? What could possibly be being asked right here? It's a big redaction. Make sure I didn't press nothing without knowing. Did I telepathically hit pause? No. Holy shit.
I was friends with Ethan before he and Xana were started becoming a thing and dating, but
What about before you and Xana became a
I
thing
mean,
and
it
started
didn't
dating?
hurt, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
having
Ethan know
comment-
that?
Yeah, he knew that.
Wow. What the frick was the redacted part? I hate that they do this stupid shit. Like, eventually, all of this stuff is going to come out unredacted. Like, something will happen in 5, 10, 15 years, who knows when, and all of these redacted files are coming out unredacted. And it'll be just like all the rest of it, for nothing. Secret and stupid for no reason whatsoever. Just like the traffic stop.
I was friends with Ethan before he and Xana were started becoming a thing and dating, but
But what about you and Xana?
I mean, it didn't hurt, that's for sure.
Didn't hurt what?
Yeah.
Did
having
Ethan know
comment-
that?
Yeah, he knew that. And this was way prior to them dating.
I must have just now said something about them too. Him and Xana. And then here comes the big redaction. So yeah, I bet you anything this is about Xana and his relationship. Probably details to let the detective sort of gauge how serious it was beforehand. So then, was Xana dating or talking with Peter when he first met Ethan? Or was it the Xana thing with Peter over by the time Ethan and Peter met, but before Ethan and Xana got together? He was, sir. They were in a relationship. That's the whole point of like why he's so sketchy. He dated Xana before Ethan did. That's why it's crazy.
By the way, I mean, is she?
I haven't talked. I'm not super close with Dylan.
Okay.
I saw her.
That was Dylan's name. He said Dylan. Give it a second.
By the way, I mean, is she?
I haven't talked. I'm not super close with Dylan.
Okay.
I saw her at the funeral. I didn't talk at Xana's funeral this last weekend. I didn't really talk to her though. I talked to Bethany just a little bit, and she's pretty rough shape.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in someone to help her out.
Okay.
A little bit.
A child psychiatrist. A child forensic interviewer is who they brought in to help her out.
Yeah. So, okay. You thought Madison's good looking, but you never.
Yeah, I never pursued anything because she had a boyfriend.
And then what about Kaylee?
I didn't think she was attractive, so I never went for her.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I know that everybody's cup of tea. I can't stand Dylan. I think she's stupid. I can't stand her little dumbass little duck lips, but she's not an ugly girl. Like, none of them are ugly. They're all very attractive. They're all freaking gorgeous people. Like, if there was a reality TV show, those are the faces that you'd see on that biatch, all right? They were all beautiful. But I don't know. Kaylee, out of all of them, to me, is, like, honestly the prettiest one. But I guess it's because I'm thicker. I would just, like, look at her being, like, a little bit thicker and be like, that's the one right there. You know what I mean? Because, hello. But, like Maddie, she reminds me of Kylie Rodney because she just kind of like dainty-ish. You know what I mean? Xana's gorgeous. Ethan's cute as shit. Bethany's cute. She's just a dummy. And Dylan's just a conniving psychopath as far as I'm concerned, okay? Stuff she said out of her own face. That's my opinion based off the things that have come out of Dylan's own mouth. And I'm not a professional. I'm just a person with an opinion. And that's my opinion on little old Dylan. But she's not an ugly girl. It's just crazy to hear him just like come out and say that. Which is fair. You can, to each their own, but it's just crazy to me. Holy shit.
This last weekend, I didn't really talk to her though. I talked to Bethany just a little bit, and she's pretty rough shape.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in someone to help her out.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay. You thought Madison's good looking, but you never.
Yeah, I never pursued anything because she had a boyfriend.
And then what about Kaylee?
I didn't think she was attractive, so I never went for her.
Okay, that's fair.
Just not my type.
Which is fine.
Okay.
I'm just like still.
I mean, they're on social media a lot.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, one of the analysts that's working on my team looks at him, and that's her job as an analyst, is to kind of decipher a bunch of things. And she's like, they were really close to being social media influencers, just because of their following groups and other things of that nature. Their charisma through the lens of a camera, put it that way. Did you recognize that, or did anyone else recognize that? They had that ability.
I just noticed that their Instagram accounts are just typical sorority girl Instagram accounts. They have a bunch of followers, and they do up the photos to make them look really good and post them, and they're all about the likes and comments and all that stuff, but I didn't really think anything past that.
Tells you how shallow he actually thought they all were. It says a lot.
Modern. I mean, I've got a daughter in the same age group.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Okay. Who was Ethan seeing before he and Xana got together?
He wasn't in a relationship with anyone prior to my knowledge, but
Yeah, we really don't hear anything about
he
his
had hooked up
past.
with a couple girls. I don't even know their names though, but I know he had hooked up with a couple of different gals
Normal.
before, but it was way prior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her pencil. First time.
Xana, his girlfriend, for being close.
Yeah.
And then
Me and Xana were still really good friends after
yeah.
that all.
how
We
about-
just kind of got past that whole thing and kind of realized we're not little kids anymore. We don't have to be all awkward around each other. So we just we're really good friends and we're stayed pretty.
You can say whatever you want to. I don't care. There will always be. It never just goes away, guys. Let's be serious. That's not how humans work. Not whenever you actually do have a connection with somebody and then that connection ends and they like stick around. It doesn't ever help. And the way that he is talking, like he has done nothing but like talk Xana up and talk Ethan down the whole time. It's pretty important in my opinion. Not to say that it means anything for the situation, but just the way he's discussing them is important in my opinion.
Girlfriend for being close.
Yeah.
And then
Me and Xana were still really good friends after
yeah.
that all.
how
We
about-
just kind of got past that whole thing and kind of realized we're not little kids anymore. We don't have to be all awkward around each other. So we just we're really good friends and we're stayed pretty close.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Do you ever go hiking with them or whatever,
Hiking randomly?
No.
boating or anything of that nature?
No. Because I don't live close. So during the summer when you do all that boating activities and stuff,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going over your statement about, what Ethan had to say.
you're good.
I don't think we need to cover that.
So you know how I FOIA'd the handwritten statements from everyone that was there? Dylan, Emily, Bethany, Hunter, Lyndon, Josie, those. I wonder if we could FOIA the victim impact statement. Or not the impact statements, that's the court thing. But I wonder if we could get these victimology questionnaires. Because they would have to be forwarded over to the lead agency, wouldn't they? I'm going to try. See what they do.
Yeah. That's a really interesting statement. Is describe how Ethan interacts with strangers. Said he didn't know strangers. Everyone was his friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he do any part-time work or anything like that?
No, not currently. He just worked.
Logan's trying to get him.
Saved up for that semester's worth of, or that year's worth of groceries and stuff.
Do you know what kind of business his dad runs?
Yeah.
Like I get privacy.
Yeah.
And I say this every single time because it just annoys me. And I guess it's because of the type of person I am. I don't know. We know now that the Chapin's attorney is getting to go through these redacted things before they're released to the people that actually paid them, just like the Goncalves' attorney gets to do it. Now, like, there's this whole new process, right? I mean, and I get maybe not wanting to like out the name of your business or like whatever, but I really just don't understand why every little thing about the Chapins in way of where they, I mean, like just the generalized information of where they live, what they do, how they were as a family, and all the things that they accomplished, when they could support 3 kids going to college full time and pay their tuitions and make sure they didn't have to work and make sure they had money and gave them vehicles to use. Like that is such a freaking flex to do with 1 kid, much less freaking 3, bro. And the fact that they are just like, we don't want you to know none of our business is just a little crazy. I feel like they definitely are going way too overboard with the information they don't want out here, considering all these years later, people already know all their business. There's channels that have their business literally everywhere. So regardless if they want it out there or not, everyone knows what Jim was doing. Everyone knows what they did as a living. Everyone knows about the properties that they own. People know already by now. These redactions are taking place after the majority of the world 3.5 years later already know the info. Why are we redacting everything? Every freaking little detail. It's just too much. It's overdone. Overdone.
And then he worked as a waiter. I think I put that in there somewhere. He worked as a waiter during the summer.
Yeah, over the summer.
Yep. A couple of girls over at WSU.
Yeah, I don't know their names, but I saw them around last year a couple of times, and they said that they knew each other from childhood friendships and stuff. But it was mainly hanging out with them because they were family friends. I don't know. Ethan was never interested in them, but that's.
So Hunter and Ethan had close friends or friends that they grew up with going to WSU, but Ethan wasn't interested in hanging out with them, but Hunter did a lot.
And they said that they knew each other from childhood friendships and stuff. But it was mainly hanging out with them because of family
recently.
Friends. I don't know.
Like it like 2 months ago, I guess, is when they started it. About 2 months ago. Maybe a little bit longer, but it just became really noticeable over the past like couple of months. Because that was a thing. What interview was it? Was it even an interview? I think it was the text messages between Dylan and Bethany and Sergeant Blaker. Maybe. I feel like it was around that time frame of when we got that information. That's what Amber told me. And I was like, so instead of them just following their own FOIA rules, they then suddenly started allowing the families to then have a say on if the FOIAs were acceptable to them or not, which I don't understand how that's acceptable under the federal regulations. But Idaho's going to do what Idaho wants to do. They don't give a shit about the rules.
Ethan was never interested in them, but that's the only thing I can think of for that aspect or that question.
Okay. You ever meet Xana's sister?
Yeah, I'd met her a couple times before.
What'd you think of her?
Silence. So many redactions. So many redactions. How much longer? How much longer? Can I skip through it?
It's Mad Greek. Yeah.
Frequently, that is.
Here we go.
Okay. Cell phone use. He's always on his phone.
Yeah.
Especially Snapchat, Instagram.
Yeah.
Social media apps, Snapchat, Instagram.
Yeah.
Frequently. Always with his girlfriend, surrounded by friends. Occasionally at the Mad Greek.
I'd go with him a few times to Mad Greek. But
decent food?
No, I don't like the food. I just go with him because he didn't want to
I
go
love
alone.
Greek food.
Just
The break.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you say Ethan was a little codependent.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah, you could say that.
I mean, very few people like being alone.
No,
in the
I don't
first
like
place,
being alone
but-
either, yeah.
Right, right. It's always more fun when you have friends.
Absolutely.
Anything Peter can do to talk shit about his ex's current boyfriend, right? Let's wow.
Ethan was a little codependent.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah, you could say that.
I mean, very few people like being alone.
No,
in the
I don't
first
like
place,
being alone
but-
either, yeah.
Right, right. It's always more fun when you have friends.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good.
Alone is my favorite time. Like, okay, let's just side note, right? Side note. So since I was 18, I've been in and out of relationships. I got married early because of stupid choices made by my parents. And then it just escalated from there. We'll put it that way. I ever was really only single, maybe a few months in between relationships, but all of my relationships usually lasted a while. They were never these little bitty short things. But over the past few years of literally being by myself and being able to decorate my freaking room how I want to without somebody else's freaking say and not having to share a bed and just being able to get up and do whatever I want to. And it's just my stuff in my bathroom and I can just do whatever I freaking want to. I don't want another person around me. I really don't. Once you really are okay with being by yourself and you can love it and enjoy it, you don't want to lose it. You don't. So a lot of people talk a lot of shit about women, especially single moms with kids, blah, 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 that stay single forever after that because we love it. I'm not on anybody else's timeline or having to match the energy of another person. I can just do whatever I want to. And if I want pink freaking walls with black roses on it, I ain't got no asshole dude in here to try to tell me I can't have it. So yeah, a lot of people don't like to be alone. And I get that sometimes. Once you do have the opportunity to be alone, you're going to realize how wrong everyone was about being alone because it's beautiful. Peaceful. It's addicting to want to be alone. It really gets to that point. It really does.
When you say the door went closed all the way, you're talking about the first level door?
Yeah, first level door. The one with the code on it.
Did you know the code?
I'm going to say something before I block this fucking idiot because I'm really so tired of this dumbass. Look, let me tell you something right now, little girl. You've been in here running your mouth since you've been in here. And I'm really just done with you. I will be judgmental at the fact that whenever you came up into YouTube, the second that the information about this damn chain of custody for the evidence report was coming out, lo and behold, you're telling everybody and their mama it's your mama. And you're calling me a judgmental fuck and everyone else because your mom is incompetent at her job? Ma'am, your mother, as a forensic tech, wrote blood splatter with an L on the freaking paperwork 2 years before retirement. And we're supposed to not be judgmental at the lack of competence in that forensic lab? She's writing that it's a foot cast instead of a shoe cast. And we're supposed to be like, oh, well, because her daughter popped up out of nowhere, we can't say shit. No, this isn't about you or her, honey baby. This is about the victims that lost their lives and the incompetence of this police force. So you can take your I'm going to cry like a big ass baby bullshit out of here because it has nothing to do with you. And now I'm blocking you out of here because I'm tired of you running your mouth to my people in this chat. Your mother owes these victims' families an apology for being incompetent at her job. It's just that simple. Be butthurt. I don't give two fucks. Holy shit, I don't give two fucks. I've literally just been listening, watching her talk shit and argue with people the whole 20 minutes now, saying stupid shit the whole time. I don't care. Your mama's incompetence is the problem. And if you can't sit here and be like, holy shit, I can't believe she wrote that on there. Holy shit, I can't believe the problems that this caused and really face the reality, then that's not my problem. It really just isn't. This isn't about y'all. This is about the facts. The facts is she worked in forensics up to retirement and didn't know what the frick difference was between splatter and spatter. And that's disgustingly ridiculous. And if this was anybody else's case and it wasn't your mama, you'd be running your mouth right along with us. So don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite about it, because that's what you're doing. And we don't play that here. Go yell at somebody else's channel. Go call Birdie and complain and cry that I'm being mean. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Sounds like everyone knew that.
Yeah. Code. Ethan actually, I have it saved in his Snapchat, the code.
How many people do you think had the code? Just a guess. I know it's impossible to tell.
If I'm going to guess, I'd say like 20.
Okay.
20, 30. I don't know.
For legitimate reasons.
Yeah, to get in, like friends of them to be able to get in so they don't have to call them every time.
Okay.
Yeah. Friends of people that lived in the house.
Current situation number 2 is, tell us anything like, and your bond was inseparable. How are you doing?
Over Xana, maybe. Can't stand all these damn silences. Ridiculous. Hey, you know what's actually crazy? I said this the other day whenever we were talking about her. If you look at her picture she uses on YouTube, and I look at the picture she sent me of her and her mother, they don't look the same. I feel like
time heals.
She's either using she's either not being honest about who she actually is, which I doubt it, because she's way too much trying to get attention for shit that ain't got nothing to do with her. It's just like those people that be like, oh, my mom's a cop or my dad's a lawyer. That don't mean shit about your education. Shut up. Doesn't mean nothing about nothing. But if you look at the picture that she has on her YouTube, and then I look at the picture she sent me, they're like two completely different like races of people. Like homegirl in the picture that I got looks like a white girl with like a brownish, auburnish brown hair, straight hair, definitely like a white chick. I mean, she could be mixed with something else, but she looks like a white girl. And the girl in the picture that Mallory uses on here definitely doesn't look like a straight up Caucasian like me. She looks like somebody different. So I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I'm not dealing with it because it ain't got nothing to do with her. This is about the victims and people that don't know how to do their jobs, nothing else.
Yeah.
Especially traumatic events, and those positive events start to take more form or more hold in our memory banks. So. And
seeing his parents this last weekend was really huge, and I liked that a lot. Seeing his parents, talking to them about it, and it's good to see them all. Yeah. I feel better now than I did before I saw them, so that's good.
I'm sure you do. Weird.
I'm good. I'm glad you're able to kind of work through it. You're a strong kid anyway. I mean, I can tell that you got a good head on your shoulders and whatnot. So
thank you.
If you run into any issues, you have my contact. I can get you in contact with a victim specialist where they can help you out a little bit, counselor or something like that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to see a counselor, sometimes it's not bad just to go and hear their spiel about grief and other things of that nature, and sometimes it just helps coping. Okay. So I'll leave that up to you. If that's something you want to do, just get in touch.
I don't think this is even close to
over,
is it?
Okay.
No, there's still like
5 things that could have led to Ethan's death. Maybe an altercation.
Those were all really skeptical, though. I mean, I didn't know what to put. I'm just trying to maybe think of something to help you. But
are you talking about the guy from Home Improvement? The one who always is getting arrested for DV all of a sudden? Is that who Zachary Bryan is? I feel like that's his, or Zachary Tyler. Is that who that is? Or Zach Bryan? Is that his name? No, Zach Bryan is the singer. Zachary Ty Bryan. Yeah, it is him. He does look like him. I'll pull up the pictures. Hold on. I don't want the ones where he's got like meth face and he's got wounds and shit everywhere. I want from whenever he was younger. I guess okay, down here, look. Like right here when he was on the show, he does favor him, doesn't he? That's kind of funny. He does favor him. That's funny.
Maybe an altercation because I saw him.
The kid from Home Improvement.
I was with he and Xana.
Oh my God, as a kid, I was totally team Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He was like my first celebrity crush. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, JTT all the way, bro. That was me.
Up until about 1:20 that night.
Okay. Where were you guys at?
At the Sigma Chi.
I love that show, Home Improvement.
And
I like
then-
Tim Allen.
I think they went back to their house. I'm not sure.
Okay, this
Because
is like
I
the
left.
time.
I
This
went
is
to-
some more of the timeline stuff right here. Let's listen to this.
Maybe an altercation.
Those were all really skeptical, though.
Just to, even if you don't want to see a counselor, sometimes it's not bad just to go and hear their
Uh-oh, Zelda's waking up.
spiel about grief and other things of that nature. And
Mike, come
sometimes it
over
just
here.
helps coping. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll leave that up to you. If that's something you
Yeah.
want to do, just get in touch with me and I'll get you in
Okay.
contact with them. Okay.
Okay.
5 things that could have led to Ethan's death. Maybe an altercation.
Those were all really skeptical, though. I mean, I didn't know what to put. I'm just trying to maybe think of something to help you, but maybe an altercation because I saw him. I was with he and Xana up until about 1:20 that night.
Okay. Where were you guys at?
At the Sigma Chi. And then I think they went back to their house. I'm not sure. Because I left. I left Sigma Chi and went to AGR and they didn't come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh no, they still have it. The Gothic big
AGR.
one
Yeah.
and the little one.
Was
They
there
have
her
both still.
name or fraternity?
She just likes to be at my window for
Why didn't they go?
Because their house is more like an agricultural type fraternity, and I have a lot of friends in there.
This is where we have discrepancies about the way the inflection for this was in the Amazon Prime series and the way that he's saying it here about this other frat.
Okay. AGR.
Yeah. Was there her neighbor fraternity?
Let me go back another minute.
I think they went back to their house.
I don't know. See, that's one reason I like taking it and like doing the audio thing I do with it, because then I have like a 10-second button. And I don't think I have anything remotely like that on this, like this.
Saw him. I was with he and Xana up until about 1:20 that night.
Okay. Where were you guys at?
At the Sigma Chi. And then I think they went back to their house. I'm not sure. Because I left. I left Sigma Chi and went to AGR and they didn't come with me.
Okay.
That still leaves like 45
AGR.
minutes before the
Yeah.
DoorDash
Was there
order.
her neighbor fraternity?
50 minutes. I think
Why
I
didn't they
FOIA'd
go?
it, Keith. I think I did. And I mean, obviously we didn't watch it, so I must have gotten denied for it, but I'm going to search my email. I swear I FOIA'd that. I'm going to search this while they're talking. I'm not going to pause it again. Let them talk, and I'm going to go search, but I think I did.
I think they went back to their house. I'm not sure. Because I left. I left Sigma Chi and went to AGR and they didn't come with me.
Okay. AGR.
Yeah. Was there her neighbor fraternity?
Why didn't they go?
Because their house is more like an agricultural type fraternity, and I have a lot of friends in there.
Maybe I didn't.
A lot of them are, so I get along with them pretty well. And Ethan really wasn't, and Xana wasn't either, so they kind of really didn't fit into that environment. Yeah.
Okay. They have good parties at AGR?
It's not necessarily good parties. They just like hanging out with the dudes, listening to country music with them. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. The door might have been cracked.
Oh, the front door. Yeah, this was weird
Do
right
you
here.
think that...
Not
I
weird,
mean,
but interesting.
the door has probably been left open before.
Oh yeah.
Why the door being cracked?
Why do I think that?
Morning.
Because I've walked in there to go
Yeah.
hang out with them before,
I'll
or hang
file
out. There's been a party there, and I'm going there, and the door's cracked.
Oh, shit.
Push it open. That's why I think maybe that might be why.
Okay. An opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. The sliding door by the kitchen could have been left unlocked. Was that commonly left unlocked?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if they lock it at night or not. I'm assuming they do. I mean, if you're drunk, that probably is one of the last things you're going to think about is locking your sliding door. So I would assume it was unlocked.
Okay.
I mean, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Well, I will also say we do know that the weekend before, which was their parents' weekend, that the door was found when the girls came back that day off the hinges and like all jacked up. So if he said that the door sometimes was like open, I'm just wondering if like something was going on with the lock and the lock wasn't engaging like it was supposed to. Like maybe the door was so off kilter that it just wasn't connecting. I know that like I live in like I said, like an older, like real wood, back when real wood was still wood type house. And there's a lot of moisture in the air and stuff, like in the ground where we live. So, and my dad's noticed it. The kids have noticed it. I've noticed it. When the temperature changes, like when it gets like hotter to when it gets colder, the way that the track is on our side kitchen door that we use to go out to the side, it doesn't do it on the front door, but it does it on the side door. Like sometimes we have to, like, depending on the season, the door will lock. Like right now, it just locks and it's fine. Sometimes we have to like lift it up just a little bit because like it moves a little bit with like the way that the heat constricts stuff and like, you know, all that bullshit. You'll know what I'm talking about. That's very common for houses to like do that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if for some reason, like maybe in the wintertime, something went on with the way that the house settles and the door like wouldn't catch and stay closed and it would like maybe just like pop back open a little bit. I wonder if there really was an issue with the door lock after all. Like we know Jeff didn't touch it. He himself already said he didn't touch the door lock. That interview where that misconception came from, he said Xana had changed a lot since meeting Ethan, and he was glad that she got to feel how it was like to live with a boyfriend. That was that conversation. But Jeff did tighten the screws in the hinges of the door frame for the door the weekend before for Xana's parents' weekend. So there definitely was a door problem. And if they could prove anything about the door and like which way the person or persons like went through the house, and they could prove that the door was locked or was attempted to be locked or didn't shut all the way. Like you also have to wonder too, like, is that why the front door was wide open in the morning? Did one of them run in or out and like not pay attention and the door just didn't like shut all the way because it has a problem? Like if you try to just like pop it shut, you have to push it shut and like secure the shut. You can't just like slide it shut. You know what I mean? Like, you know how humans move things. Like, do you have to just pop or do you push it? Because we never really got clarification. We just know that it's not like one of those like fancy ones with an app. It's a code one. I don't know. I don't think we heard from anyone else the possibility that the door didn't shut all the way before him.
You didn't list a number 5.
No, I couldn't think of anything. Because it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. I don't know.
Would you say everyone in the house was well liked?
Yeah, really well liked.
Who was not well liked in the house? Not just the victims, the survivors. Who was not well liked?
No one. There was no one that wasn't unliked. The only thing that I can think of is, and just because I heard it on social media and stuff, is that Kaylee had a stalker or something.
We've already ruled that out, yeah. There was an incident, by the way, just for clarification. It's unrelated to this, and we're taking action on it.
Okay.
And it wasn't just Kaylee. They're just creepers. Kaylee wasn't the only person that they followed around.
Yeah.
So
I had heard about that. Two men, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Winco.
Yeah.
That's Winco. So see, this is also so stupid. So this detective is describing the 2 Winco guys like they were stalking all these other girls, and we're looking into this. We already know about it. But what are they telling us? Oh, they're just 2 dudes trying to get a date. They won't let me have their freaking interviews for privacy reasons. But he's putting this whole like suspicious bullshit on that scenario when all this time later they tell us it's nothing. There's no way this detective is supposed to be giving this much insinuation to someone that they're interviewing, right? I feel like he's crossed several lines of what should have been allowed to be said to the person several times here.
An incident, by the way, just for clarification, it's unrelated to this, and we're taking action on it.
Okay.
And it wasn't just Kaylee; they're just creepers.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
Kaylee wasn't the only person that they followed.
Crazy
around.
as shit.
Yeah.
So
I had heard about that too. 2 men, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I also heard another really disturbing thing from, I forget who, but and I haven't been repeating it because I don't think you guys want me to repeat this, but that Kaylee had her tongue cut out.
Oh yeah, right here.
Is that false? Okay.
And see, like I wish we heard the answer, but the only thing I can think of is that he was just told no because he didn't have like a. Well, I mean, I guess it just depends, honestly. I feel like the way that he just was like it wasn't, but I guess he could have responded the same way if he would have said yeah. And there was a lot of injuries to like her mouth. Her retainer was off and like laying on her tongue because it had broken like out of where it had been installed. Okay.
I'm repeating it because I don't think you guys want me to repeat this, but that Kaylee had her tongue cut out. Is that false? Okay.
There's always a lot of rumor on any of these cases, whether it's a murder case or something else, and it's people kind of speculate, and then that speculation becomes, I hate to even use this phrase because it drives me nuts, but it becomes their truth.
Yeah.
Because they want to believe something. And without...
Why are you getting all pathetically, stupidly philosophical over some stupid shit that he just said? Move on and ask the damn questions. Shut up. I do not like this guy's interrogation technique. He's a time waster. Time waster. I reclaim my time. He is horrible. Oh my God.
On any of these cases, whether it's a murder case or something else, and it's people kind of speculate, and then that speculation becomes, I hate to even use this phrase because it drives me nuts, but it becomes their truth.
Yeah.
Because they want
Can't
to
roll
believe
him any
something.
harder.
And without having the knowledge or without having the facts or have seen it or been there, one thing or another, minds go wild. And we understand that. We wish we could share more. But for the course of...
You've already said a bunch of crazy shit you shouldn't have been talking about. Like you bringing in people to help Dylan and all kind of stuff. Shut up.
This investigation and the prosecution of the suspect.
Just to keep him without, like, so that he doesn't know as much as you, he doesn't find out as much as you know.
That's a big piece of it. What we always do is we base it off of court.
That's why I said he sounds like Chris McDonough from the interview room. And like, look, don't listen to this like on your cell phone and like put the phone with the piece of the speaker on the countertop because those S's are literally going to pierce your eyeballs. They're sharp. Listening to it like that was a mistake I made the other night. Oh my God.
From procedure and policy.
Oh yeah.
What can be admissible and what can't. Now you get a bunch of stuff out there in the public. That's going to get quashed, because it's going to cause wildfire, and there's going to be all kinds of different angles coming at it and other things of that nature. So we really try to stick with the facts and keep those facts tied to our vest, which we have to do legally.
Yeah.
For the preservation of that knowledge and evidence for when it transfers out from the executive branch, law enforcement is part of the executive branch, into the judicial branch, right? So once it gets handed over, it really has to be every T crossed, every I dotted, and has to be precise. It can't be speculation. Speculation gets tossed out of court constantly. And the more information that's out there, the more speculation is generated.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that goes back to what I said. Only Bethany was told directly, according to everyone that we've heard so far, about the situation with Kaylee being outside that one time by herself, and she calls Bethany because somebody was like by the dumpster. Everyone else just repeats the story because then after everyone is attacked, the conversations get started. So even though we could have 50 people telling the cops and all these interviews about that Winco situation or about the guy outside or the guy in the tree line, only the people that were directly told that information would have been put on the stand, and that would have only been Bethany about that one thing. And whoever was talked to directly about the guy in the trees, like everybody spoken to directly that didn't get it from some third party conversation would have been the only ones able to even say anything. And a lot of these things get repeated and made, I guess, the more they're repeated, the more importance they seem to have attached to them because they are repeated instances. And a lot of them are not as important as they are perceived to be, I guess, is what I mean to say. If you go back to the basics of the fact.
So that again is one of the procedural things why we can't release all the facts of this case. It still has to go in front of a jury.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen.
One of the last questions here is so much information detail about the days during the week prior to his death. Parents' weekend. Did you go to the tailgate party?
Parents' weekend. No,
Dad's
we didn't.
weekend or
Yeah, no, we didn't go to the tailgate. We stayed at my apartment, and I made breakfast for my parents and my roommate's parents, and then we drank there a little bit before the game, and then we walked to the game right when it started because it was raining.
U of I game or the WSU?
U of I.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was raining and it would have been miserable to go sit out at the tailgate, so we just stayed at my apartment until the game started.
Smart.
Yeah, and then Ethan and his family came and over to my apartment like 30 minutes before we walked and
Okay.
we all walked over there together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything unusual on that day? Where was everyone else hanging? Because I mean,
They were around.
Is he not going to tell the story about Ethan and the other guy's mom and the picture and the problem with the leg up and stuff? Does he not mention that? I don't remember if he says anything about that or not.
In their own apartments with their own families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty big weekend up here? Parents'
Yeah.
weekend?
Both semesters, parents' weekend's pretty big. Yeah.
So I've heard there's mom's weekend, dad's weekend,
Yeah.
parent weekend. I don't remember any of that when I was in
Yeah.
college. I don't.
It's because it's a
Cool for you.
huge. It's bigger for fraternity and sorority life. Parents' weekend is.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you think about it, dorm kids, if their parents come up for parents' weekend, where are they gonna go? To the dorm and hang out type of deal?
Right.
Well, when you're in a fraternity or sorority, the parents can go hang out with you at your fraternity or sorority type of
I
deal.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean,
That's what
I
my
was too
mom
busy
says
to-
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does. Your parents come up very often?
Yeah. They come up for every parents' weekend, and then when the day that this happened, I got on the phone with mom, told her, and my dad overheard. He was on the road in 15 minutes, and we live. So they come up whenever they feel we need it or something. So yeah, it's nice.
It's good of him.
Yeah.
And you're.
Yeah.
I know you've likely thought about this. But it's a question I like to ask because it has so much potential to answer. But what does this killer look like to you?
You asked me this the other day too, and I gave you the most average answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't. It's an average male. That's what I can picture. Average height, he's not overweight.
What the
I don't know. When I picture him, he's not overweight. He's like slender-ish, average height. Yeah.
What's his background?
Why in the frickety frick are you allowing this dude to profile the suspect and say dumb shit? What a weird question to ask this person. Average height, skinny, normal. What the frick? What the frick? No one else was asked that weird ass question. What the frick?
You've likely thought about this.
Weird.
It's a question I like to ask because it has so much potential to answer. But what does this killer look like to you?
You asked me this the other day too.
Did he? I don't know.
Gave you the most average answer, but I can't. It's an average male. That's what I can picture. Average height, average. He's not overweight. I don't know. When I picture him, he's not overweight. He's like slender-ish, average height. Yeah.
What's his background?
What do you mean? I see him coming from a family that was broken.
Okay.
Didn't have good parents. The parents weren't around a whole lot. I think he, like, drug dealer type person. I don't know.
Drug dealer type person?
When I picture him, he's not overweight. He's like slender-ish, average height.
That he does.
Yeah.
What's his background?
What do you mean? I see him coming from a family that was broken.
Okay.
Didn't have good parents. The parents weren't around a whole lot. I think he, like, drug dealer type person. I don't know.
Very specific.
I don't know why.
Someone outside of societal norms.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And why?
That's what I just said. I was like, did he? We didn't hear it. So it tells you that they're having conversations that they're not considering interviews, and they're not recording, and they're not writing reports for. That's what that tells you. Because we only have the one report of him talking to Detective Lake. So yeah, that means there's definitely several different conversations, no recordings, no reports. Not shocking, but there's your proof.
Would a person to take someone's life that's big,
and especially a stabbing that's so personal to actually, yeah.
Why would someone do that?
Look, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm almost wondering if he's asking him these questions because he's suspicious of him. And he's trying to see if the person that he profiles as the killer matches his actual profile. Because that's possible. He sounds ridiculous, but maybe that's what's happening here.
The parents weren't around a whole lot. I think he, like, drug dealer type person. I don't know why.
Someone outside of societal norms.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm suspicious of him. Yeah, it's crazy.
And why would a person to take someone's life that's big,
and especially a stabbing that's so personal to actually, yeah.
Why would someone do that?
They're sick. They're not normal. They're not what we would consider human.
Damn, he sounds just like Bill Thompson's little profiler, doesn't he? Don't bother asking the guy that we catch for this why he did it or where he put the weapon or how or anything else, because their mind is just going to be so not like a normal human, and we're just not going to understand it, and you're not going to be able to trust anything that they say to you. Don't bother asking. Shit sounds so familiar.
I don't know.
I also come from.
You come from what? You come from what? You know, I also come from what? Greek life? The state that home dude's in? Where you come from, Joe?
They're sick. They're not normal. They're not what we would consider human. I don't know.
You know, I also come from
royalty. I mean, what does it say?
It's kind of interesting, like when you're branding and whatnot. You know, I don't think anything of it. You know, the cow feels very little pain.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking about like agriculture here, because he's talking about branding a cow. Okay.
You know, I also come from. It's kind of interesting, like when you're
maybe
branding and whatnot. You know,
rural something.
I don't think anything of it.
He's talking about
the cow feels very little pain.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's going to sting.
Or
It's going to burn a
ranching.
little bit, right? But it's necessary.
Yeah.
Other people look at it and they may think, how cruel.
Yeah.
But we can rationalize it because of the need, right?
Right.
There's actually a legal need to brand your cattle,
Yeah.
right, and tag them out.
Yeah.
So there's a perspective there, but I think nearly every person also recognizes death is not a judgment call for one to make on their own accord, right?
Right.
So how is it this person can kill 4 people?
He doesn't have a religion. He doesn't believe in God. He's probably atheist. I don't know. That's the only.
Y'all already, if you've been here for a while, know how I am with religion, so nothing I'm going to say is going to shock you. But to sit there and say that this person doesn't have a religion and they're probably atheists, considering that more people have killed people in the name of their God than in the name of not believing in God, is crazy. And that's throughout the entire, like, human history, not just like modern times. So that was just a wild ass statement he made right there.
Accord, right?
Right.
So how is it this person can kill 4 people?
He doesn't have a religion.
See, I knew it
doesn't
was
believe in God.
California.
He's probably atheist.
I knew it was Cali.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which is also interesting because that's where Steve and them apparently moved to Idaho from, is California. At least that's what he has like alluded to in some of his interviews. But his family, like the majority of his family, like his dad before he died and his mom and all of them, and like where a lot of his stuff with his crazy ass brother is filed is in like Washington, which is right there. I know Olivia's in California, but I don't know like when Steve could have possibly moved to Idaho from California when the majority of his family is in Stevenson, Washington. Like, I just did a whole bunch of digging on that situation the other day. I told y'all they were going to hate me real soon. Like, they think they hate me now. Oh, buddy. They shouldn't have been running their mouths about shit that doesn't have nothing to do with the case or their bullshit with Sam and being little liars. So, yeah, they're really going to hate me here soon because I'm about to, like, bust open that entire thing about old Nathan over there. Nathan Daniel Goncalves. Yep, that's going to happen.
That's the only reason that I can think of, because based off of what you said, like, it's not your spot to be able to do that. It's God's spot, and they obviously wouldn't believe in God if they did that.
That's crazy.
That's insightful.
But okay.
Didn't.
Not very insightful, but okay. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, Wellington. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I like the little koala. Koala walla. Thank you so much. Congratulations to those who got those.
Doesn't have faith. Yeah.
Okay.
In my family, we're
and more redactions. See, they got to be talking about like his family history. In my family, we blop. So crazy.
That's a good guy. Good guy. This person, how old do you think they are? This suspect.
I don't know why this is coming to my brain right now, but 23, 24, 25. I don't know why. I don't know.
Well,
are they like...
down.
I kind of actually...
They're like asking this guy to be a psychic. Like, what's he look like? What's his family background? How old is he? What's his date of birth? What's his sign? This is crazy. This is crazy. Wild as hell. I never heard shit like this before in my life. This is crazy wild. There's only about 11 minutes left.
That's a good guy. Good guy. This person, how old do you think they are? This suspect.
This is crazy.
I don't know why this is coming to my brain right now, but 23.
It's a weird ass
24,
questioning, bro.
25.
Way out of there.
I don't know.
Well, let's break that down.
I kind of actually have a theory.
Okay.
Oh, let's
I
listen
think
to it.
that I don't know if this is real or not, but I think that
Oh my God. Shut up, Dylan. Did he really just say that? What?
I think they are. This
I don't know if
suspect.
this is real or not. What the frick?
I don't know why this is coming to my brain right now, but 23, 24, 25. I don't know why.
This is
I don't
crazy.
Well, let's break that down.
I kind of actually have a theory.
Okay.
I think that I don't know if this is real or not, but I think that Kaylee, I have a theory that Kaylee had like an OnlyFans or something, or she had a sugar daddy or something.
One of those pay sites.
Yeah, and she wasn't. How does kind of know? Do you know how they work? Like she's supposed to send something or something, and they pay or whatever. I think that she didn't send something.
How do you know? And for someone that you didn't find attractive, why are you all up in her business anyway? Even if she was, how the frick would you even know shit? You didn't even think she's cute. You weird, bro.
Or something along those lines, and they got mad and I don't freaking know. You kind of get what.
Is he the one who asked for the freaking nude pictures from Jack Decor? Did you get angry because Jack didn't sell you Kaylee's nude photos? Like, what is this line of conversation right here? What the frick is this? Listen again.
Okay.
I think that I don't know if this is real or not, but I think that Kaylee, I have a theory that Kaylee had like an OnlyFans or something, or she had a sugar daddy or
Theories
something.
can only be based off
One
of
of those
information that are that's factual. He
And
just is assuming she had one. She doesn't know for sure.
How does kind of know? Do you know how they work? Like she's supposed to send something or something, and they pay or whatever. I think that she didn't send something, or something along those lines, and they got mad and I don't freaking know.
He's the only other person that mentions this shit besides Jack
Where do you
Decor.
draw the line? $10, $20, $100, 1,000, million.
I don't know.
How much value do you put on someone?
Me personally, I think a person's invaluable. A life is invaluable. I mean, you can't put a price on a life.
Right, but that's using our own upbringing, our own
I don't know.
values and morals.
I mean, if there's somebody the sick person that did this, I would say that that price wouldn't really matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to pick brains of young men like yourself and whatnot.
I'm sure you do.
I'm your parents are probably even old.
See, if he actually knew she had an OnlyFans or something like that, then he could be like, well, we found out that she did. Or we found out that she was hanging out with these sugar daddy guys or whatever. So this is my theory based off what we found out. But he's like, I'm just assuming that she had this website, and you know how those things work. So if I'm assuming right and she actually did have this, then this is probably what happened based on my theory. Theories are supposed to be based on factual things, not stuff that's made up. That's what a lot of these content creators do. They literally make shit up, pull it out of their ass, and throw it on the screen and feed it to you. And most of it doesn't have anything to back it up. That's not a theory. Theories are based on facts. That's what a working narrative is. That's a theory. It's an educated guess. It's a hypothesis. It's not, I'm going to make up some random shit and then create a story based off that random shit that I just made up. That's what he just did. He'd probably make a killing on YouTube.
Older.
What's that?
I'm the same age as your parents, maybe even a little older. So things have changed so much in the last 20 years with social media and other things of that nature that
So bad.
I just like to kind of get an insight into your brain a little bit and why you're thinking the things that you think, because maybe that'll help us to identify, current values and norms versus abnormal, because things do change. We trend as a society, and there's different values placed on different things. So what else can you tell me? What else can you
make up about this fake person that I'm having you profile for me? And what else can you make up about these victims that makes you look like you're like the best human in the world and they were all shit? Besides Xana. No, everyone loved her. He's talking shit about everybody here, bro. Like, okay. He's really just deflecting everybody, deflecting away from him to like everybody he possibly can. This guy's... I'm going to have to listen to this a third time and take some additional notes. This guy's out of there.
It's just something, a hunch, hypothesis, wild.
One of the reasons I think the whole OnlyFans thing or whatever, is because she had that brand new Range Rover. Like, how did she buy that?
So they were also on the dumb shit because they're too stupid to know what real life is. Down payment, credit check, monthly payment, giving them your banking information, giving them your paycheck stubs, having them run your credit to make sure that you pay your bills. That's how she got a used Range Rover. See, this is the stupid shit rumors that were going around with them that made it seem as if she was doing some shady ass shit for money, when in reality, the girl was just busting her ass to work because she's had to do everything herself, because her parents even said she always had to hustle to do everything herself. It was a used Range Rover. She put a down payment on it. She was making monthly payments on it, or would have been able to make monthly payments on it. And I think we've discussed this before. Her Range Rover, like the ticket price for the Range Rover at that One Auto or whatever, Price One Auto, whatever the hell place she went to in Washington to buy it, that Range Rover was like $3,000 or $4,000 less than my used Honda CRV that I had. So see, here he is, and we know that that's like the talk of the entire town, because he's associated with the university, saying, oh, she's got this brand new Range Rover. How'd she do that? Oh, and she paid for it herself. How'd she do that? Thinking that she's dropping tens of thousands of dollars on this car, and that's not the case. So this connotation, this negative connotation of her life, and he's literally pulling this shit out of his own butt again about her possibly doing something shady for money because he's ill-informed on her vehicle situation. See why he should be shutting his mouth up? See why he shouldn't be saying anything? If he didn't find her attractive, why are you even trying to talk about all this bullshit? Everything he's saying right here about Kaylee is false. Unbelievable. So did you really not think that Kaylee was attractive? I'm really confused considering some of your answers here, sir. Did you just not want to admit you like the thick girl? Is that what it was? Super curious.
If she bought it, I don't know if her parents helped her with that or whatnot. That's kind of one other reason why I think that, because Range Rovers are expensive.
This little hypocritical piece of shit. I really hope that he is listening to us talk shit about his little dumbass, because all that bullshit that they were all talking about on social media with all the rumors, his punk ass is the one responsible for it. You hearing what he's saying? He's worse than all those people he was just complaining about.
They are.
But I don't know. That's another thing. I don't know.
Yep.
How was everyone doing financially in the house?
Xana was fine. She was working at Mad Creek. She was fine financially. Ethan was good. Ethan was fine.
And why are we blocking this out?
And then Ethan was fine.
Okay, you just repeated that.
The other two girls or the other roommates, because I was obviously closer with Xana and Ethan, so I really only know kind of like.
I mean, were they
And
like
Bethany too,
scrounging
right?
pennies and dimes and nickels to go get a hamburger or anything? No. Okay.
He
I
still
mean,
said
it
that.
sounds like their bills were being paid on time. They all had gas in the gas tanks, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
okay. Anything else that you can think of?
Have you guys
Wild.
looked at the footage? I know those cars were newer and they have backup cameras and cameras on the front. Those cameras on there. I
Why
don't
would
know
you
if
be
those are
saying any of this stuff?
can catch anything while their vehicles are off, but that's
So you think cops are stupid? It's been like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks since the crime took place, and he's like, in case you guys are too stupid to know, some of these cars might have cameras. I don't know. This whole thing right here is giving me the same vibe of, was it recorded? Was there audio? You know, it's got that same ick to it.
Had gas in the gas tanks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I see that being common in the
Anything else
chat.
that you can think of?
I see that being common in the chat. After listening to him, it sounds like a lot of people think he might actually be the 4chan poster. We're definitely going to go back over the breaking 4chan. We don't have a choice at this point. We don't have a choice.
or the other roommates, because I was obviously closer with Xana and Ethan, so I really only know kind of like.
I mean, were they like scrounging pennies and dimes and nickels to go get a hamburger or anything? No. Okay.
Yeah, pocket too much. Saying
I
all
mean, it
kind of
sounds
shit.
like their bills were being paid on time. They all had gas in the gas tanks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Anything else that you can think of?
Here it comes, because you guys are too stupid to know this. Let me go ahead and school you for a minute.
Have you guys looked at the footage? I know those cars were newer and they have backup cameras and cameras on the front. Those cameras on there, I don't know if those are can catch anything while their vehicles are off, but that's another thing.
Yeah. We have
I know you guys took the vehicles in for inspection and stuff, or investigation.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, we have a team of true subject matter experts.
Sure you do.
This is, while it's related to the case, it's not evidentiary, but I watched this guy break out this really cool set of micro tools the other day, and it intrigued me because of what the heck's he doing with those. Sat down at a bench and in less than 60 seconds, literally had this laptop stripped down to components, removing this little tiny memory chip from within, and then had a very special type of a reader that could extract the data in which he was seeking from that memory chip.
Wow.
Then reassemble the thing in about 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
That'll make your jaw drop.
right.
So he's telling him, because he was just like, you guys are too damn dumb to know about vehicles. So let me school you for a second. So Joe's response was, we have guys that are doing insane stuff that blows my mind, just so you know we're not dumb. That all could have been said in like 5 seconds. Instead, it went philosophical like I was in a college course. This guy's a lot. This detective is a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was truly impressive. So that gives you an idea of the minutia that this team
now
is
you know, bro.
diving into. And
Crazy
the driving
stuff.
force is most all of us have children. Some of us have children in the same age group. And every day, my wife asked me as we're driving back, like I said, it took us 2 days to get back just because the weather was so crappy between Bend and Biggs.
Shut up. We don't need to hear your life.
Visibility sucked, freezing fog. The road was crap.
Why are we telling you this? Why are you telling this?
That took an entire day, which sucked. But she asked me, she's like, so what's the plan? And I said, well, probably not going to see me a whole lot. And and I said, well, let's put it in perspective. If this was our daughter, what would we expect?
Yeah.
And I think we all live up to that every day. Is we get up early and we get here and we go straight to work and we look at angles and motives and just every element. And then when we run out of that, we go and we grab someone and we say, what do you think? Yeah. And it refreshes and it opens up new avenues, and we continue to do that. And we continue to sit down and talk with people and process. Meanwhile, processing all the evidence from the scene and doing all the other things, sending it, for testing at the labs and all the other.
That takes a while though, doesn't it?
It does, just to work up, your standard biological, and I'm just being hypothetical here. I'm not talking case specific, but a normal case, a biological case might be 6 months of processing, just because it's backlogged. This case, everything is going to the front of the line and being processed.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, nothing's being backlogged.
Oh, is that right?
We need to.
You worry
get
that
this
they're
person
going
Utah,
fast?
right?
No, we have our own state lab
Oh,
here.
you do?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
We have some of the best forensic scientists in the Northwest working for us, working for this.
Your forensic scientists don't know the difference between splatter and spatter, boys. Sit all the way down.
State police.
Gotcha.
Very good at what they do. But it will still take several days to do those workups because of the processing that goes through all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I thought you guys were backlogged. I thought we were gonna have to wait 6 months for all the results.
Oh, are you worried
No,
now?
they're coming out really quick.
That's awesome.
And of course, we brought up many of our forensic scientists to come help us process the crime
That's
scenes.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you leave? When did you head back down to California?
Monday. The Monday. That Monday after.
That would have been the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Monday morning, like 10:30.
And did you go back down with your dad?
Mm-hmm. My dad and my brother and my cousin. Because
You have a cousin up here too?
My cousin up here too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys went back down. Obviously, you're working cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Working cattle.
Have you been in contact with anyone from the school while you were off on vacation within that first, let's just say 72 hours? Did anyone reach out to you?
Like
That's
phone
just
calls
killing
from
my
school?
ears, bro.
Well, from fraternity brothers or from friends.
Oh. I got texted by a couple of them just checking up on me, asking how I was doing type of deal.
Okay.
But that was it.
Okay.
And then the weekend of Thanksgiving break, I was called by another one of your guys' detectives and gave him a story, gave him like another kind of timeline type deal.
A story, you mean? I think you had it right the first time. That's that short little interview that Connor posted first. What was that, the 18th? And they had it listed incorrectly as the 19th in the report. That's what took us so freaking long to find it. But y'all are the best of the best of the best, sir. Ugh.
Yeah, I got texted by a couple of them just checking up on me, asking how I was doing type of deal.
Okay.
But that was it.
Okay.
And then the weekend of Thanksgiving break, I was called by another one of your guys' detectives and gave him a story, gave him like another kind of timeline type deal. But that was it.
Okay.
I keep hearing like a dog.
It might have been you. No, it was.
No, I just talked to you that one time on the phone.
Yeah,
And, I'm leading the team, the victimology team, so it could have been someone on the team.
Gotcha.
It
was a gal. Yeah.
A gal.
Okay. I know
Who
which one
says
it was.
that
Yeah.
like that?
Okay.
That's great.
Has anyone reached
It's a
out to
gal.
you that maybe is not someone who commonly reaches out to you?
A lot of people, yeah, like uncountable amount of people that I haven't spoken to in 5 years from high
Okay.
school to reaching
High
out.
school,
Yeah.
How about from the university?
Nobody really from the university besides fraternity brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That kid reached out to me and asked how I was doing.
Caleb, Jake?
He reached out to
The
me
Caleb guy.
just to see how I was doing.
Look, they said his name so clearly the captions picked it up.
University.
I'll pause it when
Nobody
he
really
says
from the
it.
university besides fraternity brothers.
Okay.
The guy he doesn't like
Anything
reached out
else?
to him.
That kid reached out to me and asked how I was doing.
Watch.
Caleb, Jake?
Caleb J. Screwed up so much it caught it in the caption. But we're paying shit tons of money for these redactions, and the redactions are failing. Ugh.
He reached out to me just to see how I was doing.
Okay.
But you don't like him. You think
That's
he's
what I see.
weird. You don't like him.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If we need to talk again, would you be open to that?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take so long. This is more
Yeah.
of a, in depth, but
Oh,
greatly. Go ahead.
I'm leaving Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
End of semester, right?
Well, I'm going back early because I'm doing school online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. That's
Okay.
that's no problem.
Okay.
No problem at all. If anything comes up, you've got my cell phone.
Right. Yeah. I got it.
Even if it's something small.
Your name's Joe Lake, right? Sweet.
That's like
Yeah, what I'd like you to do is, if something comes to mind, something conflict-wise, anything comes to mind, yeah, just reach out to me, okay?
Okay, I will.
Uh,
And there's not much else you can tell me, right? Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
I wish I could share everything with you.
I'm sure you do.
Just I can't add that
I'm
knowledge.
sure you
to it.
do.
I gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm going to end audio recording 2:46 p.m.
And okay, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Let me show y'all something real quick. So I'm looking through. If the person that mentioned the drone knows exactly which report it is on here, if you could drop it in the chat and let me know. I'm trying to find it. I know it's in here, and I said I've been needing to go in and do like these and get them in, index. Somebody probably already has, but I need to go in and index these. But look what I just came across that I guess I didn't realize like the first time around. So this report number, and I'll put this out separately because this is just odd to me. This probably should not be this way. So this was written by Brett Payne, and it has to do with February 23rd, and swabs from Jack DeCour's phone. And if you look right here, because Jack DeCour's stuff, like there's all this bullshit with it. They didn't have his fingerprints until summer of 2025 and all kind of dumb other shit, right? On February 23rd, 2023, Detective Mallory brought the two items into my office and told me they were not digital items. The two evidence items were swabs from Jack DeCour's phone and the paper used while taking the swabs. The swabs were taken before the phone was forensically downloaded. None of the seals of the items were broken, so I booked the packages into MPD evidence on February 24th, 2023. They didn't book stuff that they did with Jack until February 2023 into evidence. Why did they not take that seriously, considering he was their very first suspect, and he stayed at the very top of all the suspect forms until 2025? And they're just willy-nilly, just nonchalant, not giving two shits about none of it. Swabs were taken before the phone was forensically downloaded to see if there was any DNA and stuff on the phone itself, blood or anything on the phone. February 24th, you cleared this man 4 months prior to this. And you're just like, it's just there. Throw it in there, shut the door. Who cares? Isn't that crazy as shit? Isn't that crazy as shit? This interview was a lot. I do feel like I need to go back in and listen to it again and just do nothing but concentrate and take notes on some of the crazy shit that he said. Because he said some crazy shit. And I really feel like we do need to go back in and compare some of the things that he said to some of the stuff that was said in the 4chan stuff. I feel like we really do need to now. Because, man, the person in the 4chan literally was geared would definitely have a jealousy issue with Ethan, had a thing about Xana, had a thing about Maddie, and was just had a problem with Ethan. Sounds a lot like what Pete's describing in certain ways, especially, again, since he's doing everything he can to not put Ethan in a decent light. He's talking all kinds of just down. And honestly, also contradictorial about Ethan, back and forth. And again, I have to question, if you dated the girl that he's with now, can I really trust you as a best friend to him to actually fall under that label and do what you're supposed to do as such? Or are you standing there so that you can be in between all of the business and know what's going on? You can't trust mofos, bro. Don't even sit there for 1 second and pretend like what I'm saying here about the reason why he's close to Ethan is so freaking far-fetched. I know y'all have watched plenty of crime documentaries. I know y'all have seen shit like Dirty John. I know y'all have watched horrible exes or worst exes. I know y'all know that shit's legit. And look at that set of people that didn't even want to be friends with that one girl, and the two teenage girls got together and like, what did they do? Push her off a cliff and kill her or some shit or stabbed her to death because they just didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Neither one of them wanted to be friends with her anymore. Instead of just breaking it off, they kill her. I don't trust people's intentions. There's plenty of people that get close with people so that they can be in their business and be able to do their own bullshit. You cannot trust humans. I don't give a damn. You cannot trust humans. So I don't know. Very odd. Very strange. Very odd. Very strange. I don't know. Very odd. Lots of important things he said here, but damn, some of this was just very strange. What does this killer look like? Well, I know he's about 23, 24. Average build. Crappy parents. Drug head. What? Oh, that was crazy. I'm going to jack Zelda out the window. Hold on. Zelda. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh. Stretchies. Stretchies. Oh, yeah. Look how long she is. Stretchies. I love you. These are my favorite baby. I'm not going to let you go because you're going to jump on my keyboard. Oh, God. Put her back on the window. She's so big. Yeah, very strange. Very odd interview. But I'm glad that we took our time to listen to it tonight. Because it was like just a pretty mellow, like, pay attention type feel the whole time. I think we all soaked in a lot. Damn, what a freaking weird ass interview. Strange. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. You'll see me tomorrow about something. Plenty to talk about. You know, plenty to talk about. Woo! Hope you guys had a great Father's Day. Thank you for coming here and spending some of y'all's time with me this afternoon and this morning or earlier this afternoon over on the other channel. We were going over some of the alien stuff. And I really do want to try to add a second day of the week into the UFO stuff because I'm not satisfied with the progression we're making. Like, I want to be taken further and to get to like videos and other things. I think I'm going to also pull some Congress stuff for us to start going over when it comes to the conversations that we're having and that they were having in Congress and some of the other press conferences that they did with some of these people. And we probably also need to start talking about a lot of these people that are disappearing now that all this stuff is starting to come out, because it has been a very distinct set of time that certain things have been going on that revolve around a lot of these sudden disclosures of what they claim to be truth things. So I think we probably do need to add another day to it, and we'll start that here soon. Thank you so much for those of you who became members yourselves, and thank you so much for those who comes in here and gives gifted memberships to people. You guys are so nice to each other. Thank you for the super stickers and the super chats, and those of you who just came in here again and spent some time with me this evening. You guys are awesome. Thank you for caring about the facts here. Thank you for caring about facts and trying to swim through all of it. I very much appreciate it, because if I did it by myself, I'd probably go crazy. Probably would. You guys have a super great night. Again, thank you so much for being in here. Get some sleep. Don't let the fact tomorrow's Monday stress you out. See y'all. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that the notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives.